Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to DR Sports. It looks like AGT has bottled it. I think after Monday's show, he felt he needed to, put some complaints into HR about the way he was treated.
Yeah.
He was in the group chat. Yeah, exactly. He had to go into the group chat. Said, I was really disappointed with the way you guys spoke to me. So that's why he's not here.
I would say his actions are consistent with what we've seen of Liverpool recently. Bottled it! Swallowed it, mate.
Something like that. Welcome back to DR Sports. Make sure you guys smash a like on the video and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't done so already. AGT got caught in other trains. Apparently the trains then got cancelled, luck off, everything. They didn't know I was coming today as well, but I'm here. We've obviously got the esteemed panel. We've got Laurie, big up to you. We've got Matisse and we've got Nicky Hawkins. Big up the panel, big up everyone. It's international break, man, and you lot know what happens when it's international break. We turn our attentions to our respective nations, and of course, that is England. You know what I mean? England. And Thomas Tuchel stepping in. He's obviously, we know what the team is. Albania and Latvia are the games.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what we make of the squad, what we're expecting to see from Tommy T, your guy. I know you've been backing it, Matisse, in terms of him just being England manager and that whole German thing and all that.
Yeah.
What are you saying? The team in general, expectations, all of that stuff.
I'm trying to work out, because obviously there's a couple of injuries. I think Lewis Hall would have been a good shout for this. Trent, of course, probably would have been a good shout. Saka. So there's a couple of injuries, but I'm wondering if Walker and Henderson are there just to almost, in school, you got a supply teacher. You got to pick two students that are just going to...
They're the monitors.
Step up to the plate, show everyone around. Yeah, you're prefects, house captains. I'm just assuming this is a one-time thing. They're just here to show them around St. George's Park with the squad, introduce everybody, make it comfortable, and then when we get to the World Cup, when we get further into the qualifiers, surely these guys won't be at the level to contribute.
When Henderson went to Saudi Arabia, he picked him in 5 squads.
Who, Southgate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 5 squads. He finally got admitted. I know he's playing for a bigger club. I know he got admitted from the squad, but I really don't get that. I really don't understand that. We've got probably one of the best midfields in the world. We've got Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, plus a whole other load of talent. And he's
Would you say Foden's in that now?
Yeah, he's having a bad season.
Form, obviously, this season.
No, but has he ever played well for England consistently?
No. But if we're talking about those deeper positions,
no, I hear. He's
Adam
a talented
Walton
player,
was
but
another
he's
one.
never really
Adam Walton,
We've got options. Even if you want to bring Conor Gallagher instead of him.
Conor Gallagher, he's having a bit. I just don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I was trying to think what the link is between Tuchel and I was thinking, has he managed him somewhere? Like, has he had him? No. He hasn't.
That being said, apparently he's having a good season for Ajax this season.
Yeah, the top of the league. He's played like 36 games. Like he's captain.
Yeah.
So he's, I know people say Eredivisie is not that, but that's great. But the England squad, look, we always do need, like you're saying, people to keep the house in order. I remember when Conor Cody went to a few tournaments, keep the vibes in check and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I look at the England squad as it is, you've got Walker in there. So I'm saying, all right, you know what? He's dipped this season, but he's got his move to Milan and he's played some games since then.
Yeah.
You've got Jordan Pickford, who's been ever present. You've got Declan Rice,
Harry
who
Kane.
knows about pressure. You've got Harry Kane, and last time I checked, Jude Bellingham is used to playing under pressure. He runs in the Bernabeu every week with pressure.
Yeah.
And even for England, we saw glimpses of him being able to take the mantle.
Yeah.
So I think there's enough in there to be like, we're all right experience-wise. You don't need to add a token gesture in to Jordan Henderson. But are we overlooking anything? We're assuming it's a token gesture, when in reality, there's something in it. He might play.
Well, I'll tell you what surprised me about that, right? So we know that Thomas Tuchel has a 18-month contract that will take him up to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, it's a relatively short time frame.
Yeah.
So some of those inclusions, notably Henderson, and there's one or two others, Walker, a few others I could name. But my point is like, you're trying to build a squad, because his remit obviously is to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I can't understand guys like them man being in the team, because if you're looking long term, those guys are not going to be at the peak of their powers in 18 months' time. So what's the point? Might as well look at some new man, like your Morgan Gibbs-White, like your Wayne Nearys and people like that, Miles Lewis-Skelly and them man, because you're trying to build for 18 months. To me, having those.
But those guys
older-
are in there. Apart from Ifeanyi, they are in there.
Yeah, but Morgan Gibbs White's not in there.
He is now.
Yeah, by
to a Cole
default.
Palmer
Yeah,
injury.
but the injury. But then the tens. Let's actually talk about that.
It's a lot of tens.
Because the Henderson thing's one. Let us know in the chat what you lot are saying about Henderson. Can you see Liverpool fans? They always try to find a way. If AGT was here, he'd be saying Hendo's this. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember, he's got bags of experience. He's won the lot. Remember Hendo? He'll be saying all that.
Yep.
So Liverpool fans, do you guys see it? Even if you're not neutral, do you see why Hendo's in there?
I mean, you do need your so-called water carriers, but I would argue that we got a couple of them man already with experience.
That's what I mean.
The
There's
Henderson
enough-
thing
there's
is
enough experience.
baffling to me.
Yeah, he is an
And
experienced
I like
player, though.
Tuchel. Don't get me wrong. I like Tuchel as a manager. I backed him when a lot of people say, "Oh, German this and that." I said, "Nope." I agree with the philosophy. Get the best man for the job. But that did surprise me.
Any names not on there that you expected to see, or you wanted to see, or you think it's a travesty they ain't in?
2 right backs that are in the squad. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He should have been in the squad. He's been
No one-
playing.
and he gets overlooked all the, as a United fan. West Ham, like we've seen him, so you get to see him week in, week out.
He has been absolutely superb. Reece James, I like Reece James, good player. Hasn't played a lot.
No.
Been injured quite a lot.
Jed Spence.
Carl Walker was getting ripped to pieces at Man City.
Yeah,
That's at club level, yeah. So you're going international level. Aaron Wan-Bissaka should have been included in this squad.
I think he's one of the most improved players.
Yeah,
in the Premier
absolutely.
League. I said this to you
But
off camera a couple of weeks ago.
and I'm looking at the squad here, and I'm thinking maybe he's giving like he's included Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has had about 3 good games all season.
No,
all
but
season.
I think I beg to differ on that. I would have had Rashford in the team.
Why?
Because
He's kind of
he's so
rejuvenated
talented,
himself.
yeah, and he's rejuvenated.
Aston
No,
Villa a little bit.
for 3 games, 4. How long has he been there? Since January. What's
Yeah.
he
We've
played?
got to
10
think about-
if
He's got
he's
4
played-
assists. He's
if
got
he's
4 assists.
played-
Hasn't scored a goal
yeah,
yet.
No, but
he's
hold
got-
on,
but
Nicky,
he's
I know
got
where
the
you're
bit
coming
between his
from,
teeth.
but
He's running around.
you got to look at his body of work for England as well.
Yeah.
He's always played well for England. I mean, I remember I went to, what game was it? England versus Italy at Wembley. I went there last year with my brother Steve. And seriously, he was very impressive. He scored that day. I think he made one. And he was giving problems all night to.
I was like when Bellingham set him up
Yeah.
on the counter-attacking goal.
Do you know who should really have to be in there as well? Is Jed Spence.
Yes,
He has
yeah.
been brilliant for
He
Tottenham
has.
this season. He's been their best fullback. I'd say arguably been their best player, maybe as well. He's definitely up there because Kulusevski's kind of fallen off since the early form.
No, I would agree.
He's been immense. It doesn't matter if you put him right back, you put him left back, you ask him to go forward on his wrong side. He's strong. He's good in a tackle, 1v1. That one was the biggest shock to me because I would have even left Reece James at home just so he could not.
Was that a
get
bigger
injured.
shock
He's
than
been playing
Morgan
centre mid
Gibbs White, though?
recently.
Yeah, huh?
Was that a bigger shock? I mean, I know
But obviously
Flex
Reece
is
James
right. He's in now.
knows him. Yeah.
But he was omitted from the original squad. I thought that was a
For who?
horrible omission. Morgan Gibbs White, I think he's been outstanding.
Yeah, that's a surprise. I mean, the only thing I'll say with the 10s is that Foden, Palmer, Morgan Rogers, there's actually too many 10s, if anything. So, they're not even going to play. Obviously, Palmer could get shifted to right, Foden can
But
get
I'd like to
shifted
have seen him
right.
get the call out, though. 'cause
Yeah,
that indicates that he's in the manager's thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, here's the interesting thing about the England team. Yeah, are we seeing that there's a little bit of same old in terms of either big club bias or name brand? Like if you've like your body of work, because actually the Gibbs White one and Rogers one is interesting because Gibbs White has been ever present for Forest all year. He's been unreal. He's been unreal. Rogers is a higher volume scorer. But in terms of doing the other side of the game, especially if you want to let Jude go and roam,
Yeah.
someone like Gibbs White is going to work going the other way.
Yeah.
Why do you think he wasn't put in the first place?
It's tough to know what formation he's going to play as well. Because
Exactly,
obviously
you don't know what Tuchel's gonna do.
at Chelsea, he played a back 3, played the wing backs, inside forwards, double 10. There's an argument to say that doesn't really suit England. I don't think when Trent is available, he's not really a wing back. You wouldn't really play Reece James as a wing back anymore because he hasn't got the physicality or the athleticism for it, or you don't want to risk his injury. You're looking at maybe playing, I don't know, Lewis Skelly as a wing back again, Saka.
If he opts for that.
So it probably doesn't suit. You probably do stick to a back 4. We don't also have loads of talented centre backs. I think centre back, maybe goalkeeper is our weakest positions in terms of like elite top level players. So you maybe don't want to throw in an extra body there. So it's going to be interesting to see. He's played a back 4 at PSG, I believe. He's done it at Dortmund. So it's
Done
not
it at Bayern just now.
Yeah, it's
Just
not
last season.
it's not foreign to him. So it's just going to be interesting to see what system he plays, and then maybe we'll get a better grip of why he's selected certain
He was
profiles.
asked that question at the press conference when he announced the squad, and he was noticeably evasive when asked what system, which is understandable. You don't want to give away your cards at this early stage, but but you are right.
Maybe he just hasn't got round to all the games yet. Maybe he hasn't had a good look yet. He's not been in that long, has he?
He's got 4 goalkeepers as well, which shows you he probably wants to have a look at.
I mean, Aaron Ramsdale's in there. He can't be classed as a goalkeeper.
He's got Trafford
surely.
in there.
Ramsdale's all right. Too good for
He's all right.
Southampton. Yeah, Ramsdale's all right.
If he can make a living as a goalkeeper, I can make.
Well, you think he's the worst?
He's the worst keeper I've ever seen.
No.
I've said it.
I've seen worse. Trust me.
He's not. He's not.
You're only
He's
saying that
not.
because he's at Southampton.
He's not.
You weren't saying
I'm
that he's at
saying-
Arsenal.
Yes,
I'm not
I was.
saying he's great. He's not.
Roll
great.
back the
great.
videos. I said
always
it ever
been on
since.
him.
I hate him. I can't
Really?
stand
That's
him.
what it is.
He's the worst.
Personal.
No, it's
The
not
worst-
personal.
the worst
He's the
keeper you've ever
worst
seen.
goalkeeper I've ever seen. He's erratic.
Matt
he
Turner's
can't
better than him.
concentrate.
Matt Turner better than him.
I'm better than him.
Oh, nah, Nicky, you can't say
My
that.
boy plays under 13s. He's better than him.
No,
What,
Nicky,
so why
he's
is it?
not
Why
that
this?
bad.
Why the
That's
outrage
wild.
Why
against
the outrage?
Ramsdale?
Because
Yeah.
he's a
Give me where he's so
he's a
poor.
pump up merchant. He's one of them crowd pleasers.
Pump up,
vibes,
like the
man,
pump it up.
Hype man.
I remember him coming out
Hype
to.
man.
I remember
Yeah,
him-
hype man.
That's what it is. I remember him coming out to Jared Bowen and he broke him in half. He missed him by that.
Oh,
much.
this is the real.
Now we're starting to get somewhere.
It's the old
Nicky.
West Ham.
Listen. He's a clown.
Now we're getting somewhere.
He dressed up as Hagrid.
You had to do the little
Playoff
thing.
final.
But
you know what?
to
And
find
he
a
wasn't involved with either club.
It's like Stephen Hunt with the whole Reading pet.
Yeah.
No,
I'll never
he's
forget it,
erratic.
do you know what I mean?
He cannot concentrate. He lets in stupid goals. What that goal that he let in the other day? Did you see that? Come right down the middle of him and he just flicked it over his head.
No, but you know what? Before you came, right, we were talking about the personality. I think it was, you were mentioning about Anana. He was relating some stories, and I was saying it's interesting with goalkeepers. They just have that personality. I've seen David Raya a couple of times this season do some weird things. The West Ham game when he just outran your boy Ward Prowse.
We'll take the 1-0 though.
Yeah. He was
That's where
very
Arsenal got to, don't it?
very
Oh,
careful.
goalkeeper outran you.
If it was the 100-metre sprint, I'd give you a medal, but you ain't got a medal because we
No, but
beat
you
you
know what
1-0
it is,
and we're
though?
costing the title again.
No, but you know what it is, right? If you watch Arsenal every year, Raya does some stuff like that.
Basically,
I know
all
that-
keepers got the gene in
Yeah,
them.
You're meant to be crazy to be a
Yeah.
goalkeeper,
Yeah.
but he's just shit.
Nah,
He's just bad.
He's not that.
Nah,
bad.
he's a good
bad.
keeper.
I'm not saying he's like elite level and this, that,
There
and the
is
other.
championship goalkeepers that are better than him.
He did
Well,
actually.
should they be there?
James
England
James
squad.
Trafford is.
James Trafford's in there,
in
yeah.
the squad. So
It's
let's
interesting
see.
though because
I think that's
another-
harsh. I think
you
that's
talked
harsh.
about concentration.
Definitely not the worst.
He's admitted himself that he has concentration issues.
Ian White looked
which-
at him like he was mental.
That was a crazy thing to say.
It was a
was
and then
wild.
he got shipped out.
Yeah, that was wild to say that.
It was.
It was. No, he shouldn't have said.
Honestly,
He's got issues, but I definitely would not say Aaron Ramsdale's the worst keeper I've ever seen.
He's the worst Premier League keeper I've ever seen.
Nah.
And I've seen
Nah.
some. I've seen some
worse than
keepers.
Sanchez for Chelsea.
Yeah.
No,
Sanchez
he's
is-
not.
Sanchez
Sanchez
is-
is.
Sanchez is that bad, right? He wouldn't even get in the Reggae Boys team, and he actually qualifies for Jamaica.
I don't know. I've
Sanchez,
seen some-
isn't it?
His dad's a yard man.
What's his name? Tadibo?
Taibbi. Massimo Taibbi. Awful.
Yeah, he was bad.
Come on. There's been some bad ones,
There's
man.
been some shockers.
There's been some shockers.
Roy Carroll weren't great.
He played for us for a year.
Yeah, it weren't great.
No, he was all right for us. Yeah.
There's been some bad ones.
There has
Sanchez
been
is
some bad
bad,
ones,
though,
yeah.
isn't he?
We're not
He is.
blessed with goalkeepers right at the minute. You know, I mean, we've had some of the greats. We've had like Peter Shilton, David Seaman. None of these.
Les
No.
Sealy.
We've not had a great goalkeeper.
But Pickford's been
in
good for
15
England,
years,
though. As much as he gets stick
Pickford's good, yeah.
of like,
He's
just in
decent,
general, he annoys. He's another one can't concentrate.
Yeah,
always
I know,
doing
I
mad
know.
stuff and
Yeah, he is,
jittery
yeah.
and
It's true,
like throwing
it's
up
true.
the arms. But
Yeah,
for
yeah.
England, he's been alright, man.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
can't really say
definitely
he
got
hasn't.
I've got to big up Dan Burn. He had
Yeah.
a phenomenal week.
Oh yeah, yeah. big up
Phenomenal
Dan
week.
Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see why he's in there?
Yeah.
He's there on
He
merit.
deserves to be there.
He's on merit. He's had a great season. He's back at playing centre back. He's played left back in the past.
Played left wing back at
It's just a
Brighton.
different option.
Did surprise me that he's 32. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not, for a goalkeeper, that's not really old. But I thought he was a bit younger than that.
Who? No, we're talking about Dan
Dan
Burn.
Burn.
Dan Burn, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's not
a
saying
goalkeeper.
goalkeeper. He's
He's
saying
a centre back.
Oh yes, yeah. I
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
said goalkeeper, but yeah, he's yeah. What am I talking about? But yeah, he's 32.
Yeah,
I didn't
and he's
realise
only
he was
getting
that
his like not
Flowers now.
Yeah, he's kind of getting now. And
It's been a
great
mad
season.
career for him, but you got to love those journeys. For him to go back to his boyhood club, win his first piece of silverware, scored a goal,
Scoring, yeah.
getting England call up. It's
All
been
in
a
1
mad
week.
Yeah, it's been a very mad week for him.
All in one
Probably
week.
best week of his life.
It has. Let's get the super chats up before they build up, and then there's a big catalogue of the medical bunk. Says Liverpool to win 2 titles in 5 years, but it's just a title. One, Howe has as many cups as Arteta, and decades since United / Arsenal won a title. Levels. Dragon says, guys, thanks for this fun live. Made me feel better. Oh, I've been down since Indonesia got crushed by the Aussies in the World Cup qualifiers. I hope we'll make it to the 2026 World Cup. Well, we hope for you that you get to as well. And listen, good that we're bringing you some good vibes, bro. Salim Mason says, Uncle Matisse, you looking ripped, but would look even better in a Dodger blue F the Yankees. Yeah, America's they're not having that.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no allegiance to anyone. I just
like the top.
I went to the game when we was out in New York, so I just copped it just as a souvenir.
Be honest, real talk, yeah.
Boring
Baseball
as
disgust.
hell.
Oh my days.
Baseball,
Baseball
is so boring.
Oh, you got the stadium for it now, no? You ain't been to it since.
No.
I'm sorry. Baseball is
the worst.
so boring.
I actually
I'm
went
sorry.
to
So
one of my
bad.
first trips to America in the 90s, and I decided to do that whole touristy thing. I think I left after a couple of hours, and it hadn't even really got.
I
really
think because
going.
here we just see the highlights of home runs and mad catches. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you think this is what really happens in the game. Oh my God, there's loads of innings. They hardly ever hit the ball.
Yeah.
Whenever they do hit it, it trickles out first base. Like, it's mad for them
Yeah.
to even get like.
I'm not a
runs on
big
the board.
fan of American sports in general.
Are you not?
I think they're all
Like
too a bit-
basketball.
Too
I went
commercialised.
basketball. Yeah, I went Orlando Magic when I was there.
Didn't like it?
You
Really?
didn't like basketball. That's the only
End
one I'm thinking
action.
that I might like.
I know it's
Basketball's
end to end,
wicked.
but it's just like I don't know.
Is
it's
it
just
too many?
too many?
Yeah,
too much. Yeah, like,
Its
it's
brain
not
couldn't
surprising.
process
You see a goal,
in
you
the
get
hoop
excited.
every
Fucking hell, can't keep
and then,
up.
and then, like you see
No,
a
but you know
basket
what?
after
What you
basket
said
after
there
basket.
is a common criticism of it. I've heard loads of people say
It's
that.
too much.
There's actually too much scoring.
Yeah, it's
end
too
to
much.
end, yeah.
It's not a special feeling. Then I watch.
But I would say
baseball,
this though,
slow.
myself and Robbie, we used to go back in the day a lot. We used to make it like a pilgrimage to
Yeah.
go and watch the New York Knicks
Yeah.
at the MSG, because obviously you're taking all the other stuff as well. You know, it was always a really good.
I'm a big basketball fan. I love basketball.
Yeah, I love
But anyway, take off that top and get a different one is what they're saying. Bruv says Bruno is a legend. Get off the fence, Fleck. Bruno will retire a legend 100% because there's been a little bit of a discussion.
What was the discussion?
Saying is Bruno Fernandes a Man United legend, and I said
You're a
no,
one-man team.
no, I don't think he's a
Cult
legend.
hero, maybe.
Higher than that. I would say, like I say, he can. The problem is that he's played in an era which isn't his fault. That's awful.
100%.
So, but his numbers stack up with like the very best.
I hear that.
So, like,
But
you can't blame him for not winning
No.
the Premier League in this. You
No.
can't blame him for not winning the Champions League in this. Look at Man United. But it's what your personal criteria is. Like if I ask you what your world class take is,
Yeah.
it's a different for me to put because of my era of watching United. I just need the big trophies to have been won.
Yeah,
like you need to have been in there. It's not his fault you're not in it.
Yeah.
You've carried Bruno Fernandes will go down as someone who carried United in their worst years. Put United on his back and kept them
He
relevant.
deserves like a.
He's a Man United great to me.
I
But
think
not a
he's
legend.
an excellent player.
Of course he is,
Legend.
but just
Listen,
saying
we're-
legend status.
Legend
Could
is mad.
you put him in there with Rio and Gary Neville and Scholes and Beckham and Cristiano Ronaldo and Van Nistelrooy? With what he's done output wise, yes. It just feels uncomfortable for me. I don't know. My bar's high as a United fan.
Listen, this is my
And it's a
personal
bad
opinion.
period.
He's way more talented than David Beckham ever was as a footballer. Way more. That's my personal opinion.
I think Beckham had the work ethic.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
practiced and practiced. and practiced.
Bruno works.
Bruno fucking runs around
Bruno
like a
does.
mad
No,
lunatic.
not as much
Nicky.
as Beckham.
Nah, Nicky, trust me. Bruno's work ethic is crazy.
I'm
Never
talking
stops
about-
running. Never stops running.
He's a talented player, Bruno. Yeah, but Beckham, look, he had world class talent, Beckham, but he worked at that world class talent like day after day after day. Geezer was a model professional.
No, he was.
model
he was.
professional.
But speaking
But he
to
is
what,
he is very
speaking to
talented,
what
yeah.
Flex said, I've heard a couple of training ground stories about how Bruno put some of them younger men to shame.
Yeah,
when they do
he's
the
been
running and all
proper.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
Bruno's. Listen, you know my backing of Bruno. I'm annoyed that the whole legend thing has got a cup. Just
Better than Beckham?
Beckham's.
What?
Beckham's
You don't rate
man.
Beckham, do you?
Beckham's unreal. Man.
I think
Beckham's
I agree with what
Different
Nicky
types of
said.
players.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
think
difficult
he's a
to compare those
I
types of players.
associate him with the work ethic, and listen, work ethic is an attribute that I'm very. I advocate for that. You know what I mean? I think that's a talent in itself to have the work ethic, because a lot of players, to be quite honest, don't. And so Beckham was a very good player. His work ethic was excellent. Obviously, you know what I mean, the personality and all that. But if in terms of a footballer, technical skill, to me, I think
I'll tell you
Beckham's
why.
unbelievable.
I'll tell you why I think Beckham was a better player. Yeah. Beckham, to be as good as he was for as long as he was he stopped finished 37?
He was at AC
37.
Milan and LA Galaxy.
With all of that media attention around him,
Yeah.
you've got to think he was the most famous man on the planet.
The most scrutinised
The
footballer
most
there was.
scrutinised footballer there was, the most watched footballer there was. Everything he'd done was in the newspaper, everything, yeah? And he was getting it from his managers, he was getting it from his teammates and all that. We've heard the stories.
Yeah.
And he just carried on. And
Agreed.
It was
Elite
always
mentality.
as good.
And there's this misconception with Beckham. Someone said it there in the chat, which I completely disagree with, and it's the most lazy analysis that all he could do was cross. All he did was cross and good at free kicks. Nah, brother. Nah. Beckham was a proper footballer in every aspect, proper footballer. But I don't even know how we got there. Oh yeah, because of that. This is internationals, but good topic. Bruv says Nicky better than Onana, and KG better than Ronaldo. Said no one ever. Nicky better than Onana.
I think he's saying Ramsdale's better.
Must be
than
Ramsdale. Yeah, must be saying that. And YG says, Laurie, last time you were on, you disgracefully wished Elon Preston for the alleged actions of one player. Are you just bitter that Preston are historically a more successful club than Woolwich South Londoners FC?
I mean, listen, man, let's talk about that for a second. The guy was, did he get charged? I think he did get charged in the end, didn't he?
I think so.
Magic or whatever his name. That was poor from him, bro. And it's interesting that the Burnley players, to a man, refused to shake his hand after that incident with Hannibal, ex-Man United guy. Yeah, I thought it's poor. He's denied it, but I don't believe him.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Right, so let's start in 11s.
Yeah,
England
let's get
starting 11s.
to England and creating a starting 11 out of the team that has been picked. In goal, are we trying something different?
Nope.
Are we just going
Ramsdale.
Pickford, yeah? Pickford? You trying to see Trafford?
I would like to see Trafford.
You trying to see
because
Pope?
obviously, I just want to see, because obviously we've seen Henderson before. I think we've seen Ramsdale enough. I just want to gauge what level Trafford is, what he could be. Could he be maybe a top keeper? We don't know yet. But it is a World Cup qualifier, so it's an important game as well. It's not like it's a friendly, so maybe you do just stick with Pickford.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because it is we have to win.
Yeah, we actually have to
like,
win.
there's
Like,
no.
it's not a joke. Yeah.
How things go.
Yeah, it's not.
Mind you, we're the two teams we're playing.
Correct. Should be able to field anyone, but still
get
Yeah,
the
no,
job
but
done.
you got to respect the
Yeah.
team, and you got to respect the competition.
What we saying? Do we think he's going to go over back three, or we think it's going to be a back four? Firstly,
What we got?
I think he'll go back. I think he'll go back four.
Yeah,
I think he'll go back four. Yeah.
So out of that, is he going right? Is he going Walker straight away? Experience, just settle us down a bit.
I hope not.
It would
James
depend.
is his boy.
He could well play James. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the time at Chelsea, he knows his quality. He knows he can defend as well. And if he's going to play Lewis Skelly on the left back position, he might see him maybe as more attack minded, and might want to balance that out with James at right back if you want to move to a 3 in possession and push Lewis Skelly forward and whatnot. So he might look at that just to balance it out.
A bit more adaptable. with
Yeah.
James there. Do we agree with that? Are we going James right back?
I've got no arguments against
Nicky?
it.
Yeah, James. It's got to be James.
Wan-Bissaka's not there, so we can't help you on that one. Centre backs. This is interesting because we're not strong here. We're not particularly strong here. Gahey, I think, is a shoo-in.
Yeah, he had a really good Euros.
He had a great Euros. He's played quite well this season as well. Colwell's been up and down. Is that fair to say? Hasn't been great.
Yeah, he's not been great. He's not had a great season. I wouldn't say he's kicked on or anything.
I would say Conser's starting. I would say Conser and Gahey. I think. Because you've got to think about the partnerships as well. Gahey's left centre back certified.
I'd go Gahey, Burn.
But Burn, two left-sided? They're both left-sided.
Gahey's played
really.
both sides, hasn't he?
Both,
Yeah.
But he does.
But mainly for Palace,
But
he's on the left of that three.
I want to give him a debut.
Yeah.
The guy.
I think
Yeah.
over the 2 games, he'll play. He'll get minutes. I just
Yeah.
think the first one.
Yeah, man.
It depends like what kind of line you want to play as well. Like if you want to play a high line, maybe you want a bit of pace in the defense. I'd probably go Gahey and Konza. Yeah.
I think that's more solid.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
I'd prefer that. I prefer Gahey.
But I'm kind of
Gahey
with
left centre Nicky?
Well, Nicky a little bit. If you call Dan Burn up, he's 32 years old. You need to start looking at him sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I don't really understand it, to be honest. I like players getting debuts at 32, but then I look at it in like longevity.
There's not going to be any longevity, no. There's not.
But
okay, so we say Konsa and Gahey for argument's sake. Left back, Lewis Skelly or Livramento?
Lewis Skelly.
Lewis Skelly for sure.
Livramento.
So you getting?
You play Livramento?
You would, or what do you think?
No. Just I think Burn and Livramento in the same game. They work together. They know each other.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So.
But Lewis
and
Skelly,
I don't like
man,
playing with 10 men, so I wouldn't definitely.
You don't want to get sent off.
He always finds a way.
You don't want to get sent off.
He always finds a way. Has he got a point there? Has he got watches?
No. Do you know what? I'm really over the moon for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He deserves it. And actually,
he looks over the moon.
You know what? I have to say,
he's a baller.
This always happens. This always happens in our media or on social media, or whatever. The arrival pics for Lewis Skelly, yeah. All of a sudden, I'm seeing comments. This kid's still not humble. Oh, what's that gang signs he's doing? All of this crap. Like people just trying to tear this kid down. Like he shouldn't puff his chest out, be confident, and say, "I'm making it.
Yeah,
I'm making it." Like. What are you like? It always happens, and I have to say, I listen.
It's so silly
pathetic,
though, because like
pathetic.
The guy is, how old is he?
18.
He's 18. He starts for Arsenal, right? It's an Arsenal team that's on like at the top of its level since really the last time it's won the league in terms of points accumulated and being in title races. I know there may have been better technical Arsenal teams in terms of the players, but in terms of what they're actually doing, this is as high as they've been in the Premier League. So he starts for a proper Arsenal team. He's now in the England squad. If you're an 18-year-old and you're not, I don't even care if he's gassed. Be gassed.
Exactly.
Like if you're 18 years old and you're not gassed for this, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Why are you not gassed? You should be.
There's a couple of things on that as well. So he's displaced Calafiori as the Italian international.
Yeah.
Saw him in the Euros. Displaced him. Big money signing for Arsenal. Keeping him out of the team.
Yeah.
Don't make no sense.
His temperament, man. Trust me. I watch him week in, week out, obviously, for Arsenal. He's got an amazing temperament. There's been no game where you've looked at him and thought, oh, he's a little bit in awe, or he's, you know what I mean?
No, but the temperament in terms of the edge of, like, obviously he's got a couple, one red card was rescinded, the other one probably had to get, but like he's got to taper that.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But
where
in terms of
there's
like
a fine
being ready
line.
to play at the level, you can see he's taken to it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
it's
kids
got
like
needle,
that.
man.
That's what you want.
Like when you look at it's cultural thing, right? So he's come from Arsenal. If it's an English player doing all this, right? It's the way they show their pride. It's the way they show their confidence. It's the way they show their what's the word? A little pizzazz. You know what I mean? A little bit. He's a bit cocky. I like that.
Yeah,
right?
got a bit about him.
But a
I'm
kid
forced to
from
say the old
Arsenal
Sol
or
Campbell
an
thing,
English kid does that. Declan Rice did the same. You know what I mean? He got a little bit of stick when he started doing it and all that. If it was like Ibrahimovic or Cantona or someone like that walking in and they're cocky, the most cockiest players ever, you've got to love them players. Like, so why is it different when it's an English player? I don't understand it. Like, big up that kid, man. Like, you know what I mean? I like kids with confidence. You know, a kid confident with his ability.
You're right.
He feels comfortable.
They're trying to see and not heard thing, the old school. You know what I mean?
It is a cultural thing because in England it's like, oh, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like,
they're looking for any excuse to tear this shoot down. Let's just say it as it is. They're looking
confidence,
for any reason
happiness,
to tear him down.
suppress.
And fair play to him. You can see the kid's mum. You can see his grounding. You can see what he's on.
Yeah.
So anyone who want to talk about what he's wearing or is he gangster, carry on.
I think a lot of
Lewis
it
Skelly's
dates
not
back
going
to
nowhere.
the old Haaland celebration he did. That's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be humble and all that, but then James Madison's allowed to do darts
exactly,
at people like, do you know what I mean? Jamie Vardy's allowed to like do things. I know he's a Premier League winner. I get that, but like Neil Maupay's just when Scott said Neil Maupay's just funny, but he always does that. Why is it? What are you talking about? So there you go.
I don't understand when people take the piss out of what they wear and all that. Look at this. This is when Calvin Phillips turned up to him.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh my god!
Crazy. That's
Wow,
wild.
I've never seen shoes like
That's
that.
wild. It's just the fashion. It's just different
Couple of
culture.
sacks
It's
on
just
his feet.
well, we wouldn't wear that, but that's what they're on. That's what he wants to wear. And
what I'm saying,
by the way,
like-
that thing he was wearing was sick as well. I liked it. I know you wouldn't wear it. You're old school. All right, Lewis Skelly at left back. Let's get into the midfield. Do we think he's going to go with a midfield 3? Do we think 4-3-3? Do we think with a 10? What do we think here?
Yeah, I think
4-3-3 is the
Bellingham and Rice, the shoe-ins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon Henderson's
absolutely.
going to start.
Do you think Henderson's going to start after all of this?
Yeah, I reckon he's going to start. Why would you pick him?
yeah, that's true.
Background,
Rodgers.
background, just
In
to
the
be,
10.
You know what I
just
would
to
go
be
for?
behind the scenes.
I would
and-
go for Rice, Jones, Bellingham in the 10.
Jones.
Yeah,
Rice, Jones,
that's
Bellingham.
who I'd go for. Palmer hasn't been playing well.
Out of that, I'm going Bellingham, Rice,
he's out
Rodgers.
anyway.
Oh, he's
Yeah, he's
out.
out,
It's Gibbs White, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why.
I'd definitely give him a start. I'm excited to see
I
him.
wouldn't actually mind a midfield three of maybe Gibbs White, Rice, and Bellingham actually.
Yeah. If they're flat free, then yeah.
Who's playing the 10?
Well, we're saying this is a free.
Oh, okay.
But
But
if it is a
I see.
10, you know, Gibbs White plays there. So.
They can. I think him and Bellingham can kind of interchange.
Yeah.
That's why I
Bellingham
kind of
can
see
play
them as eights. If
Yeah.
they're just eights and they both can go up and down and give support to Rice, but also get forward as well. Because
Yeah,
I don't see Bellingham is like he's a different type of 10. If he plays
is.
in the 10, it's not like playing.
It's a kind of
Palmer
hybrid,
there.
innit, between the 8 and the 10.
So I want him to be able to get up and down. There's an engine there. There's a back and forth that he needs to exercise. I don't think
He's
should be
another one, by
hovering
the
and
way.
waiting
When I saw him
in
play,
half space.
I realised just how good that guy was, man.
Who?
Bellingham.
Yeah.
When I saw him play for England at Wembley.
brilliant,
Amazing player.
Might as well put Ramsdale in a 10. He's not one.
He's not a goalie. Is he?
No, he's not a goalie, mate.
Look at this guy. The hate for
He's
Ramsdale.
as much of a 10 as he is a goalie, that's for sure.
Front three, Nicky.
He's definitely starting Bone.
Is it got to be your boy?
No, do you know what? I'd go for Gordon, Kane, and Foden.
Okay. So you put Foden on the
Foden
right.
starts, yeah.
I don't want Bone to play, mate. We can't afford to lose him.
Oh, so that's the...
There's always something.
I was thinking minutes ago with this. I thought he was going to pick up his.
Me personally, I think Foden can consider himself quite fortunate to be in this
He is
squad.
like
100%. It's only off of name only.
There's
and
injuries.
No, but
CFS.
even
There's
name
injuries,
though,
that's
bro.
why.
Even he's.
Yeah.
Do you think about the last time he's really excelled in an England shirt?
Yeah.
Listen,
way
he's
off
very
his game.
talented. I know people are going to jump on me. Listen, he's very talented, but he's not done it for England for quite a while, and he's definitely not done it for City this season. In fact, he's been, by his standards, quite poor.
Yeah.
So he's quite fortunate. So I wouldn't start him. No, I don't think.
He's definitely.
Can use him
fortunate.
off the bench.
But obviously, you have to take into account that for Thomas Tuchel, this is a clean slate. This is
It
a
is.
new England era.
It is.
Yeah.
Whatever's happened before I got here, scrub that out. I don't care. This is my vision. This is my ideologies for this team.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have, from his time here as well, he's gonna have some preconceived notions already about like who his guys are. Because I remember when I was in the league, Foden kid, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Rashford,
100%.
Rashford's always been good. I know he's gone for a bad thing, but I know Rashford can be this.
Yeah.
We have to remember that that's what he's going to be on. And remember, he ain't here for long. So the name brand man who you
How
think
long is he here for?
18
well,
months.
That's
it
the
runs to the
contract.
end of the World Cup. So once he's won it, then he can and he will extend. So that's what's
That's a
gonna
big
happen.
call, man.
That's what's
I
going to
need
happen.
that.
I can't wait for
need
Pep.
That's
That's
what's
a
going to
big
happen.
call.
That's what's going to happen.
That's a
for
big
Pep to
call.
come.
Let's
I
have
need
it.
that.
That's a
Not
big
if the
call.
German brings it home.
Teams like that.
Yeah?
It's not
It's-
picking
it's
Jordan in.
coming
By the time
home.
we get to America, Canada and Mexico,
I'd like to be
it
able
ain't
to
gonna
predict
be
that.
this.
It's
But one
coming
thing,
home.
But why
there's
now
a
then?
there's a cautionary note I want to tell everybody. Where is that World Cup being played and what time of the year? It's going to be mega hot. And that doesn't really suit our style of playing football. We like the press and the hustle and bustle, closing man down and up and down. You know
Maybe
what I mean?
Tuchel don't want to play like that.
Tuchel might not play.
We
like
don't
that.
know.
We don't
This
know.
isn't- We don't know yet.
Let's
How-
see.
But yeah,
bro.
but interestingly, when Tuchel was asked how he does want it, although he was being evasive, he did say, I do want to incorporate what the style that English teams are known for. So that is an
I'm
indication.
not really a
that
big
he-
fan of Tuchel.
Did you not want, as in,
really
just as
when
a
he was at
coach?
Chelsea. Yeah, I just don't
rate him that much.
You didn't take to him?
Really, no. I didn't like him when he was at Chelsea.
Why?
I just
Because he won the
didn't find him.
Was he
Champions
Chelsea?
No, not because he's Chelsea. Because he just bored me. Just bored me to tears.
I think he speaks really
He's
well.
brilliant. He's
I
a
think,
great
I think
speaker.
that's one of his best attributes. I was in a presser.
Graham Potter
with him
bored
for
me.
Bayern. I was like,
That's your manager now, isn't it?
Oh, well,
Graham Potter was boring. You want to talk about boring? Graham Potter has put me to sleep.
the club thing always comes back in. Whenever we talk England, there's always this thing that just never goes away. I love it.
Mate,
I must
you
admit,
ain't seen nothing.
again, I'm going to have to.
You ain't
beg-
seen nothing till you see a David Moyes team. If you want to be,
It's not always I disagree with.
You don't miss
Nicky.
him.
That's my guy, but I'm
love
going to
him.
disagree with you on that. I think Tuchel. I think he
I wasn't-
embodies the
I wasn't
types
a
of.
fan.
He's
I
he's
just wasn't a
charismatic.
fan
Yeah,
of
he's
him.
charismatic.
I think he is charismatic.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's not that. I just find him boring as a manager.
Certainly more
Just
charismatic than
boring,
Gareth
boring.
Southgate was. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree with that.
I can't wait for Pep anyway. That's
Pep,
what I'm
yeah?
waiting for. Yeah, Pep's coming. 18 months.
By the time he'll be burnt out by then, man.
No, let him have a little rest. Let him quit at the end of the season. Have a year's rest, like he did, like when he
And
went from
scratching up his
Bayern to
face and tearing his hair out.
Would he not rather go to Brazil or?
Spain?
Would he rather go to Brazil?
Nah, would he
I'm sure
rather
he would.
coach Brazil instead of England?
Don't he
I
wanna
think,
coach
what would
Spain?
he- what would
Rio
his
de
preference
Janeiro
be?
or
I don't
St
think
George's
so.
Park. I
It's
think
'cause
I'd
he's
choose Rio
Basque.
de Janeiro,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
I'm
not
gonna-
Spanish. He's because he's Catalan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Spain, it won't be Spain.
He won't be Spain.
No, it won't be Spain.
It definitely won't be Spain. I think it'll either be America
But he played for Spain, right?
Yeah, I reckon he'll coach America.
Numerous caps for
I mean,
Spain.
they all do.
Yeah, but they all do.
Barcelona players, yeah.
But
So why wouldn't he manage him then?
I just don't think he will.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get back to super chats here. Just had to refresh this computer. Killen says, did you... Oh, hold on. Did you hear the news? Apparently Liverpool kicked some... listen, I don't know about that. Sir Lee says, Uncle Nicky, you are 100% correct. Ramsdale is a bum. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Marmo says, no, Laurie, work ethic isn't talent. Talent is innate, a natural gift. Work ethic is learned. It's tough, but it can be built by
no, but I'm saying,
anyone.
in my opinion, work ethic is a talent because it's something that if you got that and you develop it, it can take you a long way.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have work
I agree.
ethic. So
Work ethic's not a given. Like Mar's saying talent is innate, that's fine. Work ethic isn't talent. A natural gift. The work ethic is learned. Oh yeah, he's saying that. Work ethic is learned.
So why are you saying no?
I don't know why you're both saying the same thing.
There's no disagreement here.
Yeah,
Just want to disagree
I was
for the
thinking,
sake
what?
of it, innit?
Yeah, let us know, Marmo. Sorry, but it sounds like you lot are both saying the same thing.
But work ethic, as we all understand, can take you
talent
a
is
long,
the thing
long
that is
way,
God given. It's there. It was in you.
The
and then
biggest
you need the
example
work
of
to
that is
bring it out.
literally Ronaldo. Work
Yeah.
ethic.
But he's
talent
but also
is
he's
well.
got incredible talent.
He had
as well.
incredible talent,
Yeah.
but he could have easily just been like a talented winger. Like
Well,
he could have been like a Hazard.
I'll tell you a good example
he's
of
a top
work
player,
ethic
but-
in reverse of that. Wayne Rooney. I've really seen such a talented individual, but let's be honest, man. He should still be playing football now. And look,
How old is he?
He's only 30 odd.
Late 30s, maybe.
No, but the thing
He's
is,
saying
for
that
me,
he's
he
Ronaldo
started
body
at
types.
16.
Yeah.
So when someone starts that early at the top level, their body is going to take a toll.
Not
So the
everyone can
mileage
do
for
it.
me is
Not everyone can
not
do
the
it.
same. When they hit mid-30s,
Well-
latest, they're cooked. Same with Sterling. Sterling started 16 as
Wayne
well.
Rooney had amazing ethic on the pitch.
Ridiculous.
Yes,
yeah,
he
he
did.
worked
Yes,
his
he
arse
did.
off, yeah.
It was probably unrivaled, I think.
Yeah, he
as
was
a forward.
everywhere.
Did you ever see that one when he was in America? And the keeper
Yeah.
had an open
Yeah.
goal?
Went to
And
go
he ran
slide
back,
tackle,
tackle,
win it,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
bang
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And that was
Ball
post
in
good
for an
Rooney.
assist. Yeah,
And that was like DC United, Rooney.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I always remember this. 2009, right? Well, it was about the time. No, what was the year when he punched him or kicked him or whatever? Got him sent off. Wink.
04. No, so was it 6?
6.
Oh, when he got Ronaldo.
So it must have been
Ronaldo.
06, right?
Yeah.
Sure it was 6.
So they had a picture, and I think it was this year anyway. They had a picture in the paper of the two of them, right? So they were the whole talk was like, well, they're going to come back. They're going to have a fight. And
Yeah, I remember
Right?
that. Yeah, I remember.
And there was a picture of both of them, right? So Ronaldo's sitting in a cafe. He's got like a little salad going on, little like a cup of water or whatever. Looks shredded. I know he's been working out and all that. Wayne Rooney's walking down the street with a big lollipop. Did you ever see that picture?
No,
I haven't
that.
seen
It's a
it. No.
massive lollipop. And that is why.
Yeah.
That is why. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that Ronaldo, when he come on the telly, he says, like, drink water and all that. It's not just work of it, it's discipline.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that is,
yeah.
that
It
is
is that. And
serious
obsessive,
discipline.
yeah.
You
But
know
you
what I
are
mean?
right
It's
about
discipline.
on the pitch, and you could never question his
During
work
his
ethic
playing
on the
career,
pitch.
can't talk to Rooney.
No,
Rooney's one of
yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
To me, I say he's the best England player we've ever had.
But when you have to keep on coming back and then getting yourself back to that level,
Yeah.
eventually it stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why that, you know, with Ronaldo, he's
He
kept
just stays at
himself
that level.
level.
the
Yeah,
whole
and I
time,
think
yeah.
even if you watch like
And that's
documentaries
why-
about Rooney, like you know the way he lives his life off the pitch at times, but it was so exceptional. Sometimes you get those type of guys.
But that's-
They're so exceptional.
Yeah, yeah.
They can be out drinking, doing madness, not really looking, and then come back
He
on.
reminds
Saturday,
me,
say
right?
this.
And imagine what they could have been if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had lived their life like. Look at Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Ricky Hatton
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a fantastic fighter. He's another one. Soon as he stopped fighting,
Yeah.
every time he'd blow up, and then he'd have to get fit.
Rooney, I think, always had that body type.
He always,
He's like a boxer anyway.
He
his
always
body
has,
type.
yeah. But
But then while he's playing,
It's
he's
discipline.
but he achieved everything.
It's
Man
discipline.
United
Yeah,
and
he
England.
didn't
The
miss
thing
a
is,
thing.
it's not like we're looking at Rooney saying you sold yourself short because you didn't do it.
No, he didn't.
Man was all-time
Done
England and
everything.
Man United goal scorer.
Oh,
man.
he was phenomenal.
Do you know what I mean?
He was
So,
phenomenal.
Everything
Really,
was
he's
done.
gone. Really, then it gets down to personal preference. Once he's clocked the level, he's gone. I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah.
And that's where you can't really talk to him. If
No, you can't.
If he don't want to keep applying his life and that level of dedication to like
It's sacrifice.
to pass 35 or whatever it is. Fair play, mate. Who can?
There's drive.
Do you know what I
There's
mean? But
drive as
Ronaldo
well.
is a different mentality because he's like, I'm
It's
playing this.
drive.
I'm doing this.
Well,
I'm 50.
Ronaldo
Don't care.
the thing is with Ronaldo as well is that he was in search of more than just team accolades. He wanted Ballon d'Ors. He wanted to be known as the best ever, the best player. I don't think Rooney.
This is the problem, right?
This
This is the mentality of Ronaldo. This is why he's got an elite mentality. Yeah. He saw that guy, right? If someone like Messi was, well, he is playing now, but you know, when he was playing in his prime, if he'd won 15 Ballon d'Ors in a row, right? Every other player would have went, you know what? I was unlucky. It was Messi. Ronaldo was like, no. I'm going toe to toe with this kid. I want some. And then you look at Benzema. It's obsessive. He is obsessive. But you look at Benzema. Lewandowski should have had one, but he didn't get one because it was COVID year. Didn't he? Who just won the last one?
Haaland kind of missed out on one. People say maybe. Obviously, Messi got it for the World Cup as well.
They won't win 15 in a row. No way. No one will. You know what I mean? Like, they won't win 5 in a row. They won't, and there won't be 2 players dominating. It's a very different game now. I mean, I'm looking at this one. It's got to be Mo Salah, surely.
Not sure.
If it carries on like the way it is.
The way the season's going, He's out the Champions League. Rafinha might have something to say.
I don't get that.
I don't. Mo Salah's not going to get the Ballon d'Or.
No.
So who did we decide on our front three though?
Shit.
Well, I was. Let me finish super chats first.
Okay.
Adam says AGT also says easy win versus PSG and rebound on Newcastle. How that go? And he's probably not here today out of jinx of England. Shout out Adam. Medical Bunker says Beckham was elite and similar to Pirlo on the pitch. Narbro says how many seasons and what would the numbers have to be for Bruno to be considered a legend in the Sir Alex era? More impressive now. I don't get it. Yeah, listen, we're not going to go back to that too much, but I also agree that Bruno could have played in some of them teams. When people say,
I think what lets Bruno down is that he's not the most likable. Even Man United fans
he's the most overhated player. I don't get it.
He's got a certain body language. And he's always moaning.
Rocky went after people all the time doing this.
No, but I'm just making a point that can put people off. Yeah, same thing said about Beckham. All round nice guy. Everybody loved him.
No, but
it's the same thing. Well, okay. But you know what I'm saying. Right?
I think it's volume, but there isn't enough tangible things to take away from these statistics. So yes, he's got a high volume of statistics, but what do these statistics mean? Is there big finals? Like, you talk about Manchester United winning the treble, right, against Bayern Munich. You talk about Manchester United winning the Champions League against Chelsea. You talk about Manchester United doing 3 in a row under Sir Alex. Like,
but he couldn't be part of those conversations.
He couldn't be, and it's not his fault that he's not, because it's just bad timing. When we talk about legendary status, for me, at a club of the size of Manchester United, you've got to have your fingerprints in those historical moments. If you're not, it's unfortunate, but we're talking about Manchester United. You can't just be dashing out legendary stats.
It's not like a Matt Letizia where you go, he's a Southampton legend.
Yeah.
What a player. Stayed there his whole career. Unbelievable striker. He's a legend. But that's in the context of Southampton.
Yeah.
Shearer is a legendary. Kane is a legend for Spurs. Doing this damn thing. But they're all-time goal scorer. What a striker. So it has to be in. That's why I'm saying about my bar as a United fan. It's different at this club.
We should also take into account as well. The word legend is very subjective for
of course. It means 100%. Some people's legends are that's the player I fell in love with while I started watching football, so he's a legend to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it's just how it goes.
Some guy mentioned the word. I mean, legends are legends that live on. Live on, right?
Yeah.
Some guy mentioned a Man United legend to me. I didn't never heard of it. Who's that? How can he be a legend if I'm like other people have never heard of him?
But was that just you just not knowing though, or
it was me just not knowing? But a legend, you know who Billy Bonds are. You know who Bobby Moore is. That's the definition of the word. He said some geezer. It was like some goalkeeper.
Bruno Fernandes will not live on, I'm afraid.
Is Declan Rice a West Ham legend?
I would say yes. I would say he's one of 3 captains that have lifted in him.
Although he seems to pick up a little stick from your boys, though, don't he?
They're trying to put him off. Laurie, I've had this discussion. I've had this discussion.
Like, you've got to go into those games with the mentality and the mindset of, I need you to score an own goal today.
When he come to the London Stadium, he come over to the corner. He was winning 4-5-0, and they clipped him. Yeah, we're drawing 0-0.
Yeah,
Tony Cottee got the same.
Wow.
Tony Cottee got the same when he's playing for Everton. Like, it's a tactic. Yeah, that's what fans are there for.
Yeah.
But I must admit though, the booing of Rice when I was at, because the first time he went back there, I was at that game. He beat us in the League Cup, and I must admit that I thought there was going to be some boos and maybe some ironic cheering and stuff, but I must admit, it was a little bit louder and more intense than I thought it would be.
It's the first time he come back.
Right.
It's a very different crowd in the League Cup. It's open to the public, so everyone just gets a free shot of the tickets. Not season tickets are not there. I think you're just playing along with the story. You know what I mean? Like when he got booed there. If you look at the last game when he come back and when he was beating us quite comfortably, he got a big round of applause. You know, like anyone that's a proper West.
Yeah,
but some people just won't forgive him, Laurie.
Yeah,
some people just can't.
Yeah.
No, for as much as it, and like you've got to respect their opinion as well.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't have like Arsenal fans having a go at West Ham fans saying, why don't you boo? Why did you boo Van Persie?
Mind you, I've always said, put my cards on the table. I don't blame Van Persie.
No, you
for what
don't.
he
But
did.
why did they?
I know. Yeah,
Why
he's
did they?
the devil, yeah.
Why did they?
He's hated
Why
by
did they
it.
boo Ashley Cole? He
Yeah.
went there and won 20
Again.
trophies or something.
Again, I'm not on that.
So like, you know what I mean? So
Because
yes.
I've always said, I don't wish to keep you too long. I've always said the only constant in football is the fans.
Of course.
Players come and go, managers come and go.
it. So
Fans
basically
are the
don't get
only
too attached.
constant. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that
I hear you.
That won't be happening.
No. Yeah, after you said that.
Don't get attached.
There was
What do you mean? That's all I am.
There was things done that were just always like, I know the game. You know the game. You know the PR game, right? But as soon as he signed there, right, he'd already told some kid a week before, I'm not going anywhere in West Ham. He knew he was going to Arsenal, right? But he's not going to tell some random kid at the paintball field that he's going to Arsenal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's not going to Arsenal, mate. But as soon as he got there, it's things like this, right? And what's his name? The guy who played for Arsenal, striker.
Van Persie.
Van Persie.
No.
Adebayor.
No, played for Chelsea.
Giroud.
No.
Who are you talking about?
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
So he fell in the same
football
chat
chat,
here,
yeah.
right, with you, yeah. So he fell in. So
should know
he
this.
came over, right, and this was after Aubameyang, yeah. So he turned around, he come back, he done an advert for BT.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember
God.
that, yeah.
Jesus.
West London is home now.
Mad.
Hate
They
that
went
advert so
mental,
much.
Yeah.
right? And this is after, right? And this is where I think Arsenal stitched Rice up a little bit, and I think they was trying to create the hate, right? They done the same to him. He come over to you, and he's got a video of North London is home now.
Yeah.
And that didn't sit well with a lot of us. So a lot of the booing.
It's antagonising a bit, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
why.
But I don't think Arsenal should. Knowing what Aubameyang got from there and
I'm
out,
a big fan of
angry
Aubameyang.
that
Anyone
yes,
will
so
tell
am
you.
I. Yeah,
Yeah.
Aubameyang was a great player, but
My guy, that.
but you know to do that PR thing, they
So
said
don't get
And
attached.
you know what? Yeah, when you humanise it, I'm sure the players like, come on, do we have to do this?
Yeah, they'd
and it's
be
like,
fine.
no, we got to
Let's be
do
honest.
this. It's going to get this much
100%.
traction. It's going to get this many likes,
yeah,
this
of
much
course.
engagement, this much reach, and he's just got to do it because it's protocol. You sign a contract. You haven't just signed a contract to play. You sign a contract to do media duties.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Fulfill all of these things.
Yeah.
But he knows the backlash he's going to get, and he's
Yeah.
thinking, I don't.
I
want
would
this,
point out
but
that
it's
in
gonna
that
come.
ad, I remember it
Just-
well. Aubameyang did say it's not personal. He said
It's not
that a couple of
personal, yeah.
times,
There you
I
go.
hated that advert because I knew we'd lose
Yeah.
after that as well, and we did.
Blame
But,
TNT.
that's why I don't look. You know,
No, I
you've
hear
got to
that.
say
I
what you
hear
got to
that.
say
I
at
hear
the
that.
end of the day. Like, you're not going to turn up to Arsenal and go, do you know what? It's all right here, but I liked it back at West Ham better. I wish I'll play here for a couple of years. I'll win a couple of tries, but I prefer.
That's
Yeah,
my
you're
that's
not-
my
you're
real
not
hope.
say that.
Yeah,
That's my real
you're
hope.
not.
The
You're
fans
not.
were better over there. You know what I mean?
It's not
You're not
gonna
going to say
happen.
that.
No.
Obviously not. But yeah, we know the game. We know the game. But I think there is things. that they
I spoke
could-
to a couple of West Ham fans, and they said that one of the reasons why, because I asked them about the booing stuff, and they said to me that apparently when Declan Rice came to Arsenal, when he gave his first couple of interviews, he was eulogising about how it's so different. Oh, at Arsenal, I've come here and I've never trained this hard, or it's never been this.
But
you know
again,
what I mean? So
because
some
the levels have
fans
gone up.
Again,
took offence to that
Yeah.
because it's almost like you're shading your previous club.
the
When you
points.
talk about how good you.
The points thing, right? The points thing is hated to this day. The guy's hated. They call him Judas, right, over at West Ham. He took
he's
that
wearing the
photo
top. Yeah,
because he'd
really.
already signed for Man United, yeah, and he needed to take the photo with a top on because he was going away, and the paper released it the same day.
Yeah, I remember.
And
that.
he's what's that? 40 years ago,
Yes,
nearly.
about that. Mad.
Yeah, I
still
remember
hated
that
to
well.
this
I
day.
remember that well.
Yeah.
I remember that well.
Like,
And then
you know,
it's
just some
It is
people
what
are
it
going to
is.
take it personal. Look, they get stitched up at times and all that. Listen, they ain't going to be moaning about it at the end of the day. He's got a big bank account. He's going to play a lot.
They
you
just
know.
crack on. So especially someone who's got as
You
good
better
a
start
good
winning
head
some
as
trophies
him.
soon, Laurie. Otherwise, you're gonna
Gonna lose.
we want
Go
that
back
extra
to West Ham.
five. We want that extra £5 million. You know what I mean?
He ain't going nowhere.
Right, let me crack on with these. Hutch says people shooting MLS down out themselves as losers. DH says I live in Houston, Texas. It's over 41 Celsius year long, but don't worry, our stadium has a closed roof due to heat. many places are like that. So y'all good.
No, but
Houston
that
Texans.
goes
I remember
back to what
I went
was
there.
saying about England in the World
Texans. The NRG Stadium, I think it is. Played there a couple of years ago. It's wicked.
By the time we played that World Cup,
yeah,
that could be a big factor. It's going to suit.
Yeah, no, but he's saying inside there it's not hot.
Oh, okay,
that's what he's saying because I remember going there. It's true. I stayed across the road from it. It's baking hot. We went there in July.
But we might
last
not be
pre-season.
there.
It was so hot. But inside the stadium, it's not hot. He's saying the roof's closed, air conditions can't.
Okay, but that's that stadium. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people are saying that the climate is going to suit the South American teams.
Yeah, because they're used to it. They're used to it. But then a lot of them play in Europe. You know what I mean? A lot of them play in Europe as well. So Vinny's.
What did it was last in America? 94, wasn't it? Brazil won it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since well, obviously
Argentina. Peter Robertson says, did you see the photos of Thierry Henry at Spurs training ground? Do you think he could be a new coach there?
No chance.
No, I don't think he would do
no
that.
chance.
His sensibilities will not.
Oh, he's got to go and work, man. I want my badges.
But he gets enough work.
What do you mean?
I think that would not go down well.
Nah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
And I'm sure he's
even
aware
in the
of
youth
that.
levels. Nah, mate.
To be fair, he gets probably a hefty contract from Arsenal. Goes to Tottenham. And it's finished.
Yeah.
That contract
can't. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that.
Adam Stock says, panel, don't do it, Abbey. There's loads of versions of an Abbey. What is that? Getting rattled? Is that
get into
wearing
some
other
detail.
people's shirts?
Flying out
Is that
to these
flying
exotic
out?
locations.
Not turning up?
I'm flying out actually. Sorry.
There you go.
Not as much
I'm
as
going to
that.
be here Monday.
Where you going?
Yeah.
Lisbon.
Right. Hey, Lisbon. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
Lisbon.
that's
I've
one of
heard
my
good things about
favourite
Lisbon.
European.
Yeah.
Bad boy
really
place,
nice there.
man.
Yeah.
The nightlife there is incredible. The food is incredible.
Wow, you're selling it to me
All
good.
right.
I'm glad.
Yo,
you're
bro,
going.
trust me.
Nah, bruv says he's not a legend, Nicky, and Bruno is a legend, bruv.
Who's not a legend?
So I think he must be saying Rice. Don't know, but and Bruno is.
No,
Dunno.
maybe
My
he's talking
bruv's-
about
my
Beckham.
bruv's on one there. Oh yeah, maybe it
That
is
was
Beckham.
ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe it is Beckham. Right, so we've discussed our England team. Just to finish off the front three.
You Man United.
I
Would
said-
you have Rashford?
Not starting. Gordon's been better than him.
Yeah.
I'd have Gordon on the left. I'm not mad that Rashford's back in there. Knew it would happen.
Who else would be in there if it wasn't Rashford? Because we need
Van
runners. We need
Nistelrooy's had a
runners.
great season.
I
People are
wouldn't-
saying his
I-
team's third in the league, higher than Villa. He's been ever present. He's scoring goals.
What about Wanyeri?
It just
man?
shows that he can't get in there because of the name brand thing.
What about my boy Wanyeri?
Because he's had a better season than Rashford.
I think if you're looking at you want runners off Kane, I think Rashford has proven to run off
100%.
Kane stronger than Hudson.
What about my boy Wanyeri?
Wanyeri's on the right hand side. I would love Wanyeri to be in there, but he's in the under 21
The most
squad.
I call him
in
the
the-
most
he's in the under 21
exciting
squad.
talent in British football.
But would you
right now.
not prefer? So this is my caveat to that. Would you not prefer that Wanyeri's in the under 21 squad, less limelight, less pressure? Because you know how England
No,
be doing. Media,
and I'll tell you why.
Build up, build up, build
how you
up.
lot cuss
knock
out
him
Kobe
down,
Mainoo
knock him
now.
down.
I'll tell you why.
He went too early.
I'll tell you why.
Look what they're doing with Lewis Skelly. You want that Wanyeri as well?
Exactly.
If you're good enough, you're old enough. Look at Lamine Yawal or whatever his name is.
Yo, wow.
What's that? What's that? Them things you bust up in Fortnite and it one of them things.
What's his name?
Lemire, your ball.
What's his name? You know what I'm
You mean
talking
Lamar?
about.
I know
I
what you're
butchered
talking
that.
about.
I butchered that name. I
You mean Lamar?
apologise.
No, it's because you said whatever his name is.
Okay. But that guy there, what was he, 16? The man had just
Well, he's
done
17
the equivalent
he's
of the Spanish GCSEs and played a pivotal part in Spain winning the Euros.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, but that
Their
shouldn't be
media
the
might be
benchmark.
different.
But it's not
Yeah,
just
it's
the
not
media.
the benchmark. That-
Sometimes
yeah,
we
that
have to
is
go,
freak.
yeah.
Freak.
Oh my
Freak.
days.
Yeah.
Laurie.
Just like when Messi came on the scene.
No, but
Just
I've
like
done-
when,
That is me. That,
do you know what I
No,
mean?
but
That's
I've
the
just-
level of that.
Yeah.
No, but I've just
Laurie.
qualified it by saying, to me, he's the most exciting
No, but
talent
even
in
when
British
Yeri hasn't
football
been
right
like-
Laurie.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Have you
I've got to
seen
get
what
the
they...
answer.
Yeah.
Who's better, Lamine Yamal or Saka?
now. Well, I've got to say Saka.
Oh, you don't have to do that. You have to tell the truth. Is what you need to
No,
do.
but let's talk about Wanyeri. Let's talk about Wanyeri.
Answer the question.
Let's talk about Wanyeri, right? Because we're talking about England.
Do you
squad,
really
right?
want him in the senior
Yes,
squad
I'll
right
tell
now,
you why.
though?
Because look, I spoke about the 18-month project. You bleed him in from now, blood him in from now. By the time that World Cup comes around, it'll be established in.
Who's this?
In the,
So
Wanyeri.
just to follow up though,
Bring him in
You
now.
don't know that. When Saka gets back,
Saka,
Wanyeri might be just getting a
that's
few minutes
Saka's
off the
position,
bench.
right? That's Saka's position.
Yeah.
So where would you play Wanyeri in this England team?
Yeah, but Saka's
With all
not
due
there this
respect.
time.
I
is
know,
he?
but I'm
With
saying
all due respect, right? You guys get a little bit carried away. I heard the
You
same
reckon?
thing with Emil Smith-Rowe. The same thing.
Slate.
Croydon.
Oh, it's Slate. Oh, Hayland.
Croydon.
Not from
Massive.
Eden.
No,
from
not
Eden.
from you, but I'm just saying
Croydon,
from.
It's Slate.
But I do agree with you. I do agree with you. There
Name
is
me
like-
another a guy as exciting as that to watch, the impact that he's had.
Yeah, but the last couple of games, man got taken off at half-time against Man United because Dalo locked him up. Because he's 17 and is doing it. Like, I just think, look, Nwaneri looks like a special talent. Looks really, really good. Not because I think now when we start talking about it, looks like we're going to be hating on Nwaneri.
No,
absolutely
God,
not.
no.
Same way I defended Lewis Kelly. Exactly.
He's only 17.
I don't think. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's a travesty he's not there. I don't think. Like, I'm saying, like, he's had some mixed performances. He's had some ones, against Leicester, come up with the goods. He scored against
and it's not like
Brighton, was it?
I think he's got 8 goals in 28 appearances.
Like he's doing. Like, I'm not saying he's not. Like, he just can't go there. He's way off that. I'm not saying that.
But it's not like we don't have other options. Like Bowen's proper player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Bowen's
Palmer, I know he's in bad form.
No, but my argument
player,
is, Matisse, my argument is this, right? We said that the World Cup is 18 months away, yeah? And hopefully Tuchel is looking to build towards that. So a guy like that is such exciting raw talent. If you bring him in now, blood him now, give him... I mean, let's be honest, man,
with all due respect,
games against Albania and Latvia are not like the
Theo
top echelon
Walcott.
of European football.
Like Theo Walcott. Exposed way too early. Exposed way too early. Wasted a lot of his talent. Yeah. But I would also say this, yeah. This country is not Spain. Yeah. Yeah. They don't big up our young players, yeah. Look the nonsense Lewis Skelly's getting at the moment. You don't want two of them. Yeah. They're too young for that. You know what I mean? Like,
but they're two different characters.
They are.
Well.
And he is still building. If you're talking about the attack, Foden is not going to be too old for that World Cup. Palmer, Morgan Rogers. So there's a lot of young talent there already.
But what I'm saying, don't overlook him.
He's in the 21s as well.
Yeah, he's in
and the 21s team is good, you know.
Yeah,
bro, the wicked man in the 21s.
Good, bro.
That's good for his underestimate that development.
They let all the Spanish players. They let all of their players go. All through the 21s before they promote them all together.
Do you remember that Germany team?
Do you remember the Germany team?
They did with Lamine. He's straight in there.
But this is what I'm saying, because there's certain man you
class. Yeah, it's different class. Like Rooney. No,
Nwaneri's not that.
But do you remember the Germany team that won the World Cup? That team came up through together in the under 21s. You're looking at Sami Khedira's, Ozil's, Podolski, I think, was in there as well. Mario Gomez. Gertzer. They all came together through.
Yeah. So, I hear you, but what I'm trying to say is he's 17 now. By the time the World Cup hits, he'll be 18. 18
That's not that deep.
Exactly. Still, you're going right young to go to a World Cup.
But he's going to go to the World Cup.
26, 30. Bruh, man's got like 5 World Cups.
Tuchel's only got an 18-month contract.
Yeah, but he still might bring him.
I'll tell you what we should have done. We took it to the last World Cup and the World Cup before that. Should have got him in at 8.
All right, let's get some predictions. Remember, England versus Albania is live from 7:15 p.m. Here on DR Sports with Robbie, Ty, and Laurie. Will Ty be supporting other players from other clubs? Will he put that aside? Obviously, he's Nigerian too. But it'll be very interesting.
He's mentioned that once or twice.
To see that. Yeah. Predictions for England versus Albania. Let's go around the table.
3-0 England.
2-0.
3-0 and 2-0 over there.
England definitely win. I mean, listen, Albania, what are they? Ranked 65 in the world. England are ranked 4th. They're at home. It's a new wave.
Football's not played on rankings on paper, mate.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that England should win with a couple of goals to spare. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I am looking forward to the game, though, because it's the first game under the new regime.
Exactly.
See how we go.
This is what we want to see. I'm going with a comfortable England win. I don't think it'll be emphatic. I think 2-0. Have a look at some players.
Job done.
2-0, job done. Uruguay versus Argentina. Tasty game Friday 11:30 p.m. here on DR. Watch along as well from 11 with Robbie, Ty, and Laurie as well. So busy here. Double shift. There's a lot going on.
Another game I'm looking forward to. Local derby.
Argentina first and Uruguay second in the qualifying table. There is no Lionel Messi though. He's out.
He's turned yardman, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's been to Jamaica. You know what I mean? He's
hanging out
with a bit of a different diet. He's had a bit of a different diet. You know what I mean? So he's put him off a bit. He needs to take some time out.
That's one that you watch. You see the studs getting raked down the calves, the hair being turned, the pinches and all that. I'm going to watch that one. That's going to be a taste.
Yeah, that will be good. Some predictions on that. Who do you think's going to win?
Who's playing at home?
Argentina. Uruguay. In Uruguay. 2-2. Uruguay.
2-2.
2-1. Argentina.
2-2. Nunes will get one.
Who?
Nunes.
Darwin.
Right for his country.
Yeah, Robbie.
I'll go. I'm say Ugarte's gonna have a good game. So I don't know, just because Man United.
What do you reckon to him, Ugarte?
It's all right.
That's what I think.
It's all right. Yeah, he can run about in the bigger games. He's good. when you need him.
Always
in
kind
the
of,
games.
You're missing that Scholes.
Yeah, we
carrot.
need a dictator in there.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
been
have
Bruno
that.
who's been playing next to him.
Yeah,
ironically.
and Bruno shouldn't really be there.
And
with
he's
the
just
goals that
adapting
he
and just
can
doing
get.
everything.
Yeah.
He's okay. He's okay. I don't. He's not crap, but he's not amazing.
You can
That's-
see why
that's
PSG
exactly
let
what I
him go.
thought.
With what PSG have
when
got
you see
now.
how they play,
Hey, listen, when you see what
Garte,
PSG are
come
working
here.
with right now,
Come sit here.
Agate, move.
But you know what? The moral behind that story is it always amazes me when teams like United bring in a guy like that who is basically a water carrier type player, right?
No, but one man's trash, another man's
You
trash.
can
Just
get them
because-
one opinion
But
in
that's
England.
like saying, look at Dembele. Someone like Dembele's been struggling his whole career, got loads of injuries. Everyone's saying wasted talent. You know, there's always been something there. It's gone PSG. They've changed their tack. They've changed what they're doing, and he's
Can
done well.
he can be
It's
Man
'cause
United's
they-
Darren Fletcher.
No, but what
Yeah,
I'm saying is,
good
why
engine.
would you go and bring in a guy like? No disrespect, but there's a lot of those types of players in England.
Mate, Danny Ceballos left Arsenal. He's starting for Real Madrid. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it just.
Yeah, I'm not
it's
saying
just
we
how
don't do
goes.
it as well. I'm just saying it always kind of
But
surprises me.
I think we're really quick, actually, as football fans. What we do, though, is probably that a lot. He's going, you don't even get in for thing, man. Rubbish. I look at De Ligt. The thing with De Ligt, I think De Ligt's been quality. I've always thought he's a good defender. The misconception is, he's under Tuchel, he don't play. Eric Dyer plays ahead of him.
I've got a fantastic example of this.
Go on.
2006, yeah, we had Javier Mascherano come to West Ham, yeah. For 6 months, he left in January because he couldn't get in the team.
Mad.
Because Hayden Mullins was playing in front of him.
Who the fuck?
That's wild.
Who that?
What are we going to get? Liverpool, what are we going to get that Mascherano for? You can't Hayden Mullins playing ahead of him.
Who's that?
Hayden Mullins.
Remember Hayden Mullins?
Hayden Mullins
Mixed
was
race
playing in front of him. Yeah, exactly.
Mixed race guy.
This is
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't remember him.
Hayden Mullins. Yeah.
When I loaded up,
Nor do I.
when I
And I
loaded
watched
up,
him.
You'll see-
bro,
you'll
when I
see-
loaded up Football Manager,
Yeah.
I put Mascherano in the team with Tevez, and I saw, they could leave at the end of the season. Little rumours.
I think we just can't. It's too easy. Just if someone hasn't fit, sometimes it's a style thing. Sometimes it's a confidence thing. There's been a whole host of players who get out of a certain environment and they thrive in another. Like everyone who leaves Man United. How about that? And back the other way. As soon as they get out of our team, apart from Sancho.
Hey, it's brilliant, bro.
Portuguese.
he has a
Oh,
flourish.
leave it, man. Leave it.
Old freedom fighter.
Leave
He
it, man.
was a bad player, by
Like
the
I said, we're negotiating, man.
No
Check
negotiations.
my latest email.
No.
You get them players in
Check
football,
my email.
yeah, that they're so bad, yeah, that you boo them for so long that you get sick of booing them and you start cheering them ironically.
Yeah.
He was one of them.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's I hate when
Repka was one of them.
Thomas Repka.
Oh yeah, I remember to check
Thomas
player.
Repka.
innit?
Do you know what? I'm doing an event with him soon. I don't want to say.
Oh,
his name,
see, Nicky
because that
Chills,
guy
yeah.
is
He's a hard
he's
man, huh?
crackers, mate. So
There's a few other games before we wrap up as well. Quarterfinals of the Nations League. Italy v Germany. Some nice games in this.
yeah, that's a good one.
in this
Italy on a
World
bit of
Cup
a resurgence now, aren't
Apparently so. We want some predictions for that. Italy, Germany. It's in Italy.
Italy.
Well, Italy first. I've got to play twice. So.
I haven't seen their full squads, but I'm thinking Musiala and Wirtz connections, and I'm looking forward to it.
Scary.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably go 2-1 Germany.
they?
1-0 Italy.
I'm inclined to do the same. Although Italy, like I said, are a little bit resurgent. Actually, you know what? I might go draw with that as well.
They go through.
1-0.
They go through big stages, didn't they? Italy? They go like a load unbeaten, and then they'll lose a load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss out on major tournaments.
Croatia against France.
Always
That's a
got
nice
back
game as well.
France.
Got back France. Yeah.
Plus, a lot of them Croatian men are getting old now.
They're getting old
Modric,
now. Perisic,
Perisic,
Modric,
and them man. So yeah, France
Kovacic is
3
there
0
still.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to France 2-0.
Do you guys
The first
agree with
game.
me that I was having this conversation with a guy, Noel, he writes for a Dutch magazine, he was at the PSV game. Pound for pound, even though their league, they call it the Farmers League, but the French produce the best footballers in Europe.
Depends what you look
At the
for.
moment,
Consistently, over the last
I mean, they're up there,
X
yeah.
amount of
Yeah,
years.
they're up there.
over how many years though? Because I would say the Germans far surpass
15.
them. 15, yeah. I mean, that's one
Recent
generation,
times,
to be
yeah,
fair.
exactly.
That's one generation.
That's a long
If you
time.
go back 50, 60 years, I would say the Germans.
Yeah, but not now, though. I
mean,
mean, like, if
Spain-
you look at the
Spain-
leagues now,
Spain would-
most of the best
Spain,
players in the
yeah,
leagues are French.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
You
call
know
it
what I
a
mean?
Farmers League personally. I think that's probably
No, I'm
one
saying
of
that
the-
other people call it the
that's one of
Farmers
the
League.
best leagues to shop for.
Yes.
Shop with if you're trying to bring Premier League players.
100%.
You're going to France.
No, but
because
if you're
they've got
talking about the
physicality
top
and they've got the
leagues in
technical
Europe,
level as well.
You're looking at the Premier
And
League,
they
La
will
Liga,
acclimatise quite easily as well.
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga is called Farmers League, apart from Leverkusen, you know what I mean, won it.
I think they've got a fantastic team. Belgium. have been up there.
Yeah,
Although a lot of
they had
these
their
guys
stars.
are getting a bit older now, De Bruyne.
they
and-
had
I would
France.
say the best player come from Hazard, I think, in the last 15, 20 years.
Dutch always produce quality players, but I think France. So you agree with me, yeah?
Yeah, no, France produced
I
proper
wouldn't
players.
disagree with
Right
that
now,
massively. Denmark against Portugal. Rasmus Højlund against Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, Rasmus scored the other day. Good goal as well.
Great goal, mate.
I gotta go Portugal.
Is he
on that
back?
one.
Confidence is back. That's all I can say at this time. At this
2-0.
point.
I've heard he might be coming to us.
2-0 Portugal.
Is it? Well,
That's what I've heard.
Would you?
let's discuss
No,
numbers.
you want him?
no, thanks.
Let's
Yeah,
discuss
I-
numbers. Just
think
needs a
that's
bit
a
of
big-
confidence.
Keep him.
Be a good player for Potter.
Keep him. Keep him.
I don't mind if he stays one more year, as long as we get someone
Nah,
else.
that's not what you told me, mate.
One more year. If he stays one more year because we can't get the money for him, then you know what I
Paid
mean?
a lot for him, innit?
No, but that's
He
where
paid too much. Paid. It's not his fault.
That's where you
Paid too
just
much.
got to start doing loans and
Yeah,
get loan
yeah.
fees.
Got to initiate the thing, but
Yeah.
West Ham.
He's never been a prolific goal scorer.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
He needs to
hasn't
go
had that.
play regular game time, get his confidence, get goals.
No, but
Yeah.
he
That's
has
how
been
you'll
playing
get
regular
He scored
for United.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but his confidence is
somewhere
gone.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He got 16. Look, Rasmus is a weird one because he got 16 goals last year. He was streaky because he went a long period without scoring, then went a condensed
mad
period. But
period,
then
yeah.
while he wasn't scoring here, he was scoring in the Champions League. And in Europe, he's been good, which suggests there's something there. He scores some types of goals where you go, there's something there. Listen, what's really weird in football, yeah, is look at like when Mateta, before under Roy Hodgson, laughing stock of the league.
Yeah.
Laughing stock of the league.
Yeah,
Now it's going, tell you what, Man United should be interested. Tell you what, because Glasner comes in. You look at Beto. Mate, I saw Beto with his shirt, things crying, missing chances. Moyes goes in there, gets him playing a little bit. Beto's doing LeBron.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's doing LeBron. So, like, things can change.
no,
around.
you
can go
This
for it.
time last year with Rasmus, the conversation was, kid's got a bit. He's got a bit, he has.
Yeah, but-
and now his confidence is gone and the whole team's been playing poor.
The thing is,
hard to judge
I
how
put
bad it
Rasmus
is.
Højlund in the same bracket as Darwin Núñez. All the tools, don't know how to use them.
No, I think Darwin's.
but
better
at least,
than
but at
him.
least he's only 22.
No, same bracket,
no,
same
I
bracket.
think
They've got
Rasmus is only
tools, yeah. Darwin Núñez, yeah. And I've said this, I'm a big fan of Darwin Núñez, yeah. I was a big fan when he came. I think he's got all the assets, all the tools. But and I always said he's got the potential to be a top striker. But at some point, Laurie, you got to start doing it.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, the potential adds to nothing.
Yeah,
we've seen potential. We've seen Francis Jeffers. No, it is.
What a name.
Great for
Flushed
England
out
the
there.
same day
Oh
as
my
Wayne
God.
Rooney.
That's
Ended up
insane.
playing for something like Southport.
Well,
Was
he
it?
ended up playing for us.
But he come through. Did he come through at? He come through at Charlton.
Everton.
Everton.
Fox in the
Is he at
box.
Charlton?
I remember
He was at Charlton
at-
at some
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fox in the box, mate.
He was
Yeah.
a
Frank
lot of
Jeffers.
million, but you know, I remember another guy. What was his name? Danny Calamatari.
Calamatari for Everton.
Calamatari, yeah.
Loads of potential. People think he was going to be.
Potential's not enough.
But it's not enough.
Remember
You've
when
got
Jack
to
Rodwell was
start.
coming
Ricardo
through?
Quaresma was a big one that I remember. For
Yeah, but he had a long
Out of
career.
these two, just very quickly, out of the two,
Yeah.
Xerxes and Rasmus, which one's got the highest ceiling?
It's
Xerxes.
Xerxes definitely got more about him now, like in terms of his technique and how he takes the
got
ball
better
and his calmness.
How old is he?
Better celebration. Rasmus is 22. I think Xerxes like 23, 24. It's not.
I'd say Xerxes.
Xerxes
I
a
don't
Xerxes,
know.
but they're
I
different
don't know,
players.
but
Xerxes, by his own
they are
admission, is not
different
even a
players,
9,
yeah.
and this is Man United's problem. They went out to go and get someone to help Rasmus Højlund be the striking position, and came back with Xerxes, who's a
Yeah,
number
he's
10.
not. He's not a striker.
So
If we could
I mean,
revitalise him,
very-
do you know, the only thing about him is I felt so sorry for him when Mainu played up front and he's sitting on the
that was
bench.
it's
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
It's just
That was
Yeah, but that was on him. That was on Xerxes and Rasmus.
was
He left them
that
both.
was
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
bench.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know
But
what I
that's
mean?
what I'm saying.
I just
like,
think
it's-
you see him score
doesn't
some
do
goals.
confidence,
You
does
see
it?
him score some goals. Like when he took that goal against Leicester, I've seen him do that quite a few times. The goal he scored against you at Old Trafford last year, dragged it from his left foot onto his right foot, bang.
Yeah,
You go,
bottom corner.
there's something there. So
Yeah,
when your confidence is gone and you're playing at the size of the club of Man United with everything on you, they've bought you for 72 million, which they never should have, and you've been thrown in with no help.
Oh, they're throwing
You're
money
gonna-
at all
you're gonna
sorts
look
of
bad.
players.
Exactly.
Man. Look at Anthony.
Shocking.
Look at
Exactly.
there's
Shocking.
loads.
So
But
we've got to undo
when you
all
look
that.
at him, that was a perfect opportunity for the manager to turn around and go, do you know what? You're my man. You're my man. Like and that gives players confidence. Gives
But
us
then since then,
72
he's played all right. He's
and,
played all
and he's not only leaving them on the bench when it's like you've got goals in the team. He's leaving on the bench when you're rubbish. You know what I mean? It's
but
not,
sometimes
it's
players
not
need
him.
saying. But what I will say, Nick, I know it's only 2 games, so I'm definitely not
just-
going to carry it away. Against Real Sociedad, he didn't score, but he was much better. Got an assist. You started to see him make runs, hold the ball out. I went, okay. And against Leicester, he was much better again, and he scored. So,
Yeah.
listen, Leicester are a terrible team. We'll find out on Tuesday night against Forest.
If we could get him, if we could get him for 30, 40 million quid, I'd take him.
because that's how much he should cost.
It's about 30 million quid. I'd take him,
Yeah.
right? Because I look at that Man United team. Who's been good?
Exactly.
Who has been good?
That's
Bruno.
exactly my
You
point.
come in
Only
with
Bruno.
if you come in with like a Bowen, Kudos I don't think is going to be there. Paquetá, who knows? You know what I mean? But you know,
That's interesting.
There you
but
go.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm just saying he's
less
not
pressure.
With Rasmus, the laughing stock, yes, I've been right there. Can't control the ball, this, that, no. But I'm saying he's not as dead.
He does
as
have some
that.
raw tools. He's quick.
Not,
He's strong.
Not as bad as that. Trust
quick,
me, he's
right?
not. I'm not saying he's good enough to lead life for Man United. He shouldn't be doing that. But he's not as poor as what we've been
I think
seeing.
you guys
he
bought
was
him on
fast-tracked.
potential.
Yeah,
didn't
you fast-tracked
Fast-tracked,
him.
and he's
But that's what
a-
all top clubs are doing now.
Exactly.
They're fast-tracking players that have not even built their name up yet. Before, Neymar didn't leave Santos until 21. Hazard didn't leave Lille until 21. Now they'd be bought at 17.
But you know why that dynamic exists? It's
Because
the
they're trying
pressure
to-
of top
yeah,
flight
The
football.
pair of you are
Trying to-
ruiners of players' careers. Anyway, the pair of your clubs, they ruin club.
I can't say Man United's not.
You're just as bad. Where's Sancho?
You lot got a striker curse anyway. How many strikers you spent money on? All rubbish.
No, we never. Yeah,
Antonio's going to break
Look
his
what
leg,
you
come back.
did.
He's
Don't
still going to be
spend money on
a striker.
strikers.
Look what they did to Fulkrug.
Exactly.
Look what they did
Look what he
to
did to
Fulkrug.
Haller.
Fulkrug.
Fulkrug, look what you
Look what he
did.
did to Arnautovic.
What do you want me to do?
You got a striker curse, mate.
Yeah, we have. To be fair, strikers. Yeah, we have got a striker curse, but bloody hell,
Antonio, bless him, he's
Sancho.
going to come back.
Hey,
He's gonna be the
Sancho is
guy.
not our fault. We're just trying to redeem him. You are the one that broke him. Let's make that
You
very
paid
clear.
200 and
They
what was
broke
it?
him.
Who's the two in midfield you got?
Enzo and Caicedo, they're having good seasons.
Who's the other guy?
Lavia, he's injured.
Lavia, yeah.
Yeah, he's injured.
And how much you pay for them?
60.
Standard. Bog standard.
No, he's a good player.
Bog standard.
No.
Bog
I'm
standard.
having it,
Playing for
Nicky. I'm
Chelsea.
having it, Nicky.
Lavia's good.
Lavia's
He's
good.
been injured.
Just injured.
Yeah, I know he's been injured.
Same as Fulkrug.
Bog standard.
No,
right?
he's
We
a-
had the same discussion.
talented
He went
player.
to you when Declan Rice went to you. I'd rather have Caicedo.
Nicky.
They were saying it. I'd rather have
West
Caicedo.
Ham-
No, not me.
Caicedo's been great this season.
No, they.
Me.
West Ham,
Caicedo's
you've
been
had
very
some
good this
duds,
season.
Nicky.
We've had some ballers
You've had
as well.
some. You've had
For
some
a team that
bad
has won
duds.
nothing for
No,
50
you've had
years.
some duds.
No,
You've
you
had
won
some
that
bad
Conference
ones.
League. Now you don't get to say that anymore. Sorry, you don't get to say it anymore.
Are you going to win it?
David Moyes won you that Conference League. Yes, we will. David Moyes won you that Conference League. You don't get to
So
say
what?
that anymore.
So
You're
if-
not, actually, when I was looking at the list of days since last trophy win, West Ham are right up there because obviously you've won it recently.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
above us. You know what I mean? You're one of the big lot now. You can't be saying that. And you spend money as
One
well.
swallow does not a summer mate.
Right, we were talking about a game, guys. Denmark versus Portugal. Let's wrap up. Come on.
Where is it?
It's both leggers, but it's Denmark first.
Is Ronaldo going to play?
Yeah.
I would imagine he is. Yeah, Portugal
squad.
win 2-1.
Portugal got a lot of talent in the squad.
Yeah.
They actually,
Nuno-
yeah,
Nuno
you're right.
Mendes at
You're
left
right
back.
about that.
100%.
After that brilliant performance
Crazy.
at PSG.
Portugal, both legs, mate.
Bro, unbelievable.
And that new you that you signed as well, Iquende, is he Portuguese?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think
Portuguese.
he's like.
They produce. They're another one on the pound for pound list, you know.
He's good.
Portugal, they
Yeah,
always
they
produce
produce good players.
footballers, yeah.
And the
He's only,
Netherlands.
he's only good if you don't come out my striker budget.
Oh yeah, I want to ask one more thing. Actually, let's get right through this, guys, so we can get to this. I want to ask you guys about Gabriel really quickly. Netherlands against Spain.
Now that is a good game.
Oh, there were some good games.
Good games, yeah.
Where
Who
are
says
these
the
good games
national
coming
breaks
from?
rubbish? Quarter-final of the Nations Leagues. These are the ones that matter.
I
you
haven't
ruined it
seen
now.
this. I got to go Spain.
Yeah,
I got to go Spain.
European
yeah.
champions.
Yeah, Spain.
Netherlands at home.
Netherlands at home in the first leg. Yeah.
I think they might eke it out 2-1.
Okay. All right. Cool. I wanted to ask about this from an Arsenal perspective. Gabriel Magalhaes, 100 million offer from Saudi.
Where's this from?
He ain't
Al
going
Nassr.
nowhere.
They're interested in him.
I'm surprised
Is
that
he-
people are even taking
Yeah,
that
is that
serious.
a
He ain't
foolish
going
thing?
there.
He's not going anywhere.
No, because he was linked with a move there a couple of years ago when, foolishly, in my opinion, the manager decided to bench him for a few, and there was speculation that he might leave, he might go there. But now, for me, there's nothing in it, man. Why
He
would
ain't
you want to
going.
leave him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
Money.
one of our main go-to men.
Money.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Ronnie Affaran.
Oh, Martinelli.
No, Magalhaes.
These are one of the senior players in our team, one of the go-to
Couldn't be
men.
tempted. 650K.
Might win a trophy.
Anyone
there.
can be tempted, but I don't think
No.
so.
You might win a trophy.
Play with Ronaldo, mate.
You're not,
You know what I
you're
mean?
not playing around.
You know what I mean? No, I don't think he's
He's
going
back in
anywhere.
the Brazil squad as well.
Liverpool entering the race for Alexander Isak as well, and just Isak in general. What do we think's happening? in the
He's
summer?
not going anywhere.
I
He's
agree.
going to Arsenal.
No, he's
not
not.
going to
He's not going to Arsenal.
Why not?
Because you wage-wise with the two strikers that you have, James.
Have you not heard? Have you not heard Arsenal pretty much say that he's their number one target?
They said that.
How much PR you want to
In
drink?
it, you not learned your lesson.
You drinking out that PR straw?
I'm drinking that Kool-Aid, man.
Woo! We get in the sack. No, like.
No, but why not though? Why?
All right, so let me break it down.
Okay,
Jesus
please
is
do.
injured. He's not moving. His wages are like 250, 260.
Jesus is going back to Brazil.
He's not passing the medical. And then Havertz Havertz, Jesus is out to the end of the year. Havertz is on like 280, 290. What are you going to do with him? He's a striker as well. So whatever Isak, so if Isak comes to you, you're going to have to pay a minimum.
He needs to be on 350.
350.
I'm not sure.
If I'm Isak's
thing.
If I'm Isak,
not necessarily.
Yeah.
How much will he cost?
He's going to cost like
and he's going to cost about 150.
140.
Yeah, he's going to cost
and
that.
350 on the wages. And you need other players. It's not like you only need a striker.
Yeah.
There's definitely a case to say that you need a left winger. There's definitely a case to say that you could do with an extra body in midfield.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We could do with those guys, but we must bring in the
but
striker.
do you need Isak 70 more? Do you need Isak 70 million more than Osimhen or 60 million more than Gyökeres?
Yes.
I don't think your board will think that.
Well,
you might think that, but your board won't think that.
I think Isak. Just
if you look
in
at
general,
the way Isak plays,
I think
he's
I
made
think
for us.
Yeah, he is. He's made for Liverpool
He
as
is
well,
made,
mate.
he is made. He's made
for anyone who needs a striker.
He's made for anyone.
He's made for anyone who needs a striker.
That's like Suarez. Suarez was made for Barcelona.
Yeah.
I think he was made for Madrid as well. I think he was made for everyone. He's that good.
Yeah.
This is why I was so pleased. Not only did Newcastle,
He's made for us exclusively.
He's ours. 14.
He's made for Mikel.
Henry. He's ours.
no, but honestly, yeah, exactly.
Get out of here. You ain't getting him. Yeah? He ain't coming.
He's not coming to you, is he?
Take your offer. Yeah, and sling your.
Sling it.
Do you
You
really,
ain't getting him.
Stick it where the sun don't
hang
shine.
on. Do you really think he'll be at Newcastle next season?
Yeah, I do.
He might be, yeah. He actually
Why?
might be.
Do you know what I think he will? I think first of all is obviously finances. Yeah, Newcastle now for the last couple of seasons haven't invested heavily into their squad and they've made sure they've got their sales right, so their PSR sound now. So to talk to for Newcastle to even go, who's calling? Who's this Arsenal? 150 just to even open.
Talk about the player himself.
Let's talk. And I
Did
think,
you see the interview that he gave on international duty? What did he say?
Listen, I'm saying.
Did he give you the impression that he's going to stay at Newcastle, or did he leave it open and say,
listen, it was gonna,
I'm not going to talk about...
players.
He did that usual thing.
Listen, players. Yeah, there you
He
go.
did
It's
that.
the usual thing. It doesn't mean
You
he's
have
going.
to. I think you have to. You have
We
to,
will
because
get
you
him.
do not know what will happen.
I'm confident
he
we
could
will
walk
get him.
into Newcastle tomorrow and they could go, "We've had a £250 million offer. You're going."
Yeah.
You could.
Money talks. Money talks.
So
I
like,
just think
you can't never turn around and say a definite yes or no. I don't think you're going to go anywhere.
The best thing that
I
could
think he's
happen
gonna stay
from
at
Arsenal
Newcastle.
was them winning that trophy.
Especially if they get the Champions League.
Because Isak will say to them, look, I came here, I delivered you a trophy, your first
Wait
70
a
years.
minute, Laurie. Let me just stop you there, mate.
Okay,
Right?
mate.
Newcastle have just got as much potential as anyone else. They've got money.
Come on,
I'm telling you, Laurie.
They
I'm
have.
telling you, mate.
What, as
They've
much
got the
Resources,
tools.
man.
Where
Big
were you 3
resources.
years ago? I remember sitting in a room 3 years ago,
Played them
right,
3 times
with
this year,
Jamie
4 times this year,
Carragher
didn't win.
and Ty having an argument, and Ty was saying we're going to win the league soon, and Ty was and Jamie Carragher was laughing at him. So that's where you've gone from there to there, yeah. That
It's
was
taken
3
us
years
5
ago.
years to get there.
5 years, yeah. Where's Liverpool? They was on the way down. Now they come all the way up. Newcastle have got as much potential to sign players, to keep hold of players,
Nah.
and to form a team
do.
as Arsenal.
They don't.
I
I'll tell
think-
you one
right,
reason
and I mean
straight
this-
away
and I
is the
mean-
London effect.
I mean this with the greatest
Most
respect.
foreign players,
I mean this with,
right,
I think they've got a better manager.
If you, a lot of them, man, no disrespect, they've probably not even heard of Newcastle.
He said that.
No,
He said.
no,
Hold on. Laurie, hold on.
Newcastle's
Wait a
last
minute.
3 Premier League finishes, right? You've got 4th, you've got 7th, they're currently 6th, 1 point off 4th. Newcastle have been to 2 Carabao Cup finals in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but
Newcastle have
Arsenal
got
we're
a fan
talking
base
about,
that is dedicated to them and them only. That goes a long way for players.
It's a one-city club.
You talk about players that leave Newcastle, they always love it there. They always get adored. They always get absolutely worshipped.
They're a
And
big club,
they're a
yes,
big-
no doubt
So
about
you
it.
can't disrespect
But
Newcastle.
they're not bigger than Arsenal.
I'm not saying
Nowhere
they're bigger
near.
than Arsenal.
No.
I'm not. But I'm saying that, look, you guys were meant to win the league this season. You haven't done that. Saliba's contract's running out. I'm just saying.
Hello, Madrid.
I'm just saying. Hala Madrid.
All right.
Focus on keeping your players, let alone taking.
History,
You know what I'm saying?
history. Listen, we always talk about history, right? We always talk about history, and I had an argument. I had an argument with one of the fools in the other room about history and all this, and you're shit and you're nothing and all this, and I should have said something to him on the day. Right? History has been created every day. Yeah, there is clubs here now. Right, this is not 1935 anymore. This is 2025. Yeah, money talks. Yeah, and it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, right? If someone like, let's pick a club out there, Plymouth. yeah, if a mega rich geezer come over and went, do you know what? I like Plymouth. It's lovely there. The fish is nice and that. Yeah, I'm going to buy there. They could make that into a club that could dominate the whole world.
Yeah, but it's going to take them time.
It's going to take. Of course, it's going to take them time. But there's ways around it. Now, they've just won a court case. Yeah, I think it was Man City.
Yeah,
just won a court case saying that they were stopping them from sponsoring themselves. They can sponsor themselves now. They can sponsor themselves.
PSR is the only thing that's slowed Newcastle down.
will collapse very soon, because it's unsustainable. The way it's been made, it's so obvious that they've got to tweak it. There's going to be lapses to the rules,
With this new guy,
it's so obvious that
the richest owners
it's designed to do, right? And at the moment, and this is why they're trying to make the things like the Super League and all this, because they know that can't be sustained. Yeah, it's just a monopoly to keep the top at the top and the bottom at the bottom. Yeah, and the clubs at the bottom, and my club's included in this. Yeah, they know where their bread's buttered. Yeah, so they want to keep the Arsenals, the Man Uniteds, and the Chelseas at the top because they're the ones that bring the money in.
Good job with you, aren't it?
No, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They are big clubs, yeah. But there is going to be a time when someone's going to step in, like it's going to be a government or governing body or something, and someone's going to turn around and go, "You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this."
If Newcastle would achieve Champions League football, which is by no means a certainty, then it's possible.
It's a big possibility.
That Newcastle could say, "Look, you've got Champions League football. We're building, blah blah blah." But especially if they don't get that,
but you know what?
Where did you build from?
You know what?
You didn't get in the Champions League for 10 years. You have to start from somewhere.
It's late.
10 years.
But here's the thing.
That's crazy.
And this is what's going on.
And sometimes you just got to hear it, yeah, because you get blinded by it. You know what I mean? Like we all get blinded by it. You get blinded by it. You get blinded by it. Someone comes in and something happens.
No, I hear that.
You have
I
a
do
good
hear
period.
that.
We was top 6. We come 8th. You come 8th. We come 6th. Right? I thought we was going to be Europe every year. We've been fighting relegation for 2.
And also, you can't. What you can't take
away.
away.
Look at Man United.
You can't exactly.
There's
What you can't take away
we all get
from
carried
Newcastle
away.
is that also the feeling to a player that something is beginning to start happening. So actually, that Carabao Cup, forget you only get 100 grand for winning it. What it means for that dynasty in terms of this is the first. Look what you can be part of. You're already a hero here now. Let's kick on now, Alexander. And if they show some real intent in this summer, which I think they will do now, they put like 4 bids in for Mark Gahey last year, didn't invest in the squad. PSR, Elliot Anderson went out. They had to just balance the books. Now, Minter, 25 million, didn't even play for him. So now, that balancing act is done. They've crossed their T's and dotted their I's. They've made sure they're compliant, and they've kept their best players. And now I'm thinking, if you're Isak, you can start to put to him, listen, because you've got a few years left in your contract.
You know what?
We're investing into the squad.
Everything you've said there is true, but there's one thing you're leaving out. Ultimately, Arsenal are a bigger club than Newcastle.
Yeah, they are.
And if we're prepared to spend the money, I'm very confident they can get him, because you could sell it to him like, listen, runners up 3 years in a row, which it looks like we're going to be. On the verge of something special. You come in, we build a team around you, we win the titles. You are the man that can deliver this stuff. That is just a bigger selling point as what you just said for Newcastle. If
I don't disagree.
10 years ago.
If you
want to
convince him, the only man that needs to ring him is Henry.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he
Keep your new guy away from him.
Listen,
Keep
and Arteta.
He's on the record as saying Henry's one of his favourite
the
players.
state of the team means nothing. Yeah. 10 years ago, Tottenham were better than Arsenal. For years. They was
not
the
a bigger club, though.
No, not a bigger club. No, not a bigger club, right? Not a bigger club at all, right? But the state of the club is everything. Yeah. So I forgot the point I was going to make. I was going to make a good point, but I'm just saying the state of the club is everything. Yeah. So there's going to be times when there's shifts and changes. There's peaks and troughs. Yeah. Man City at the moment, right? Who are a more attractive club, Arsenal or Man City? Be honest.
Right now.
Right. No.
Let's go. I reckon there's a debate on that one, bro.
Let's go back a year.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back a year. Who's a more attractive club, Arsenal or Man City?
All the players want to be at Man City because they know they're going to win.
Yeah,
Man
exactly.
City
as well.
Yeah.
20 years ago, they was in League 2. And you would have been saying the same. Who's going to go to Man City?
I hear the argument, but let's talk about...
How are Man City ever going to win the
Put
Champions
yourself
League?
in Isak's position now, though. If you got the Newcastle team on the table...
Nicky.
I'd go to Real Madrid. I'm going to be honest.
He'd rather go to Plymouth.
Yeah, this country is so overrated. The football here is poor.
Yeah, it is.
It's poor.
Well, that's
There's
another
poor
story.
players
That's
that are
another
hyped up to
story.
be top players.
Correct.
I'd leave this
Prem-
country.
Yeah.
I'd leave it.
Yeah, I hear you, but that, with respect,
If you
that's
look
another...
back-
That's a subject for another
Of
day.
course, that's a subject. For
We're talking about Isak Newcastle's on the table, Liverpool's on the table.
Yeah, we haven't
Arsenal's
discussed
on the
Liverpool. We haven't even
table.
discussed Liverpool in this.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Those 3 options are on the
Is
table.
Liverpool more attractive than Arsenal?
Depends on those
Why?
contracts. Depends on those contracts.
It's a London club,
If
you
those-
know,
if
Brendan.
those-
Forget London.
Forget London. If those
No,
three
but that's a
players
big part of it.
I mean,
sign-
Charlton's a London club.
if those 3 players stay,
But they're not a
this
big
London
club.
thing.
if those
You know what I
3
mean?
not a big
players
club.
sign,
Palace is a London club.
then
Brentford's
it's
a London
different.
club.
But if those 3 players that are running out of contract leave, it's got to be Arsenal. Because
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not joining a Salah-less, Trentless, Van Dijkless
Yes.
Liverpool.
I'm not having
Yeah, but
this.
you said it to him. You're the new face of Liverpool.
Nah, bunda.
I'm not having this London.
Premier
club.
League champions.
London is dead, bro.
Champions League 6.
No, you're saying that because we live here.
London is dead. I drove through London today. Yeah, you got cyclists driving around the roads like they pay the bills. Yeah,
This is why he's angry.
I've got to drive at 20 miles an hour. I spent 20 minutes because they've put up a fucking plot plant, right, that says I can't drive through there anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to get fined.
I'm feeling your
quid.
frustrations, man. I hear what you're saying. But that
I'll
won't
leave
apply
London.
to Isak
Yeah.
anyway.
I'll leave.
Right, let's get these super chats here read out so we can wrap up the show. Don't do it.
Let's
Abby.
do a poll. Let's
Right,
do a
hold
poll.
on.
Let's do a poll.
Hey everyone, big fan from Toronto and Man United fan. Hey Flex, is UV gonna come the summer tour in New York? Yeah, we're gonna get to the MetLife. We'll be there. Juno says, Ma, are you doing the face paint this year?
Face paint.
Yeah, what's that for England or? Who's that
Yeah, I
for?
probably will. I'm going
Yeah.
all out. Coming home, lads.
So Lee Mason says, Uncle Ma, should I place the mortgage on France to win? They have decent odds.
No.
Mr. Butter says you're not winning the World Cup in our country, in the USA. DH says don't forget Gyökeres flopped at Brighton, but he's elite in Portugal. Some places don't work out for certain players. Yeah, he's flopped at Swansea as well. You know what I mean?
Who?
Couldn't Gyökeres, and now he's one of the most after
Didn't flop
strikers.
at Coventry, no?
No,
That's what I'm saying, but it took him a while. Brighton couldn't get in, Swansea couldn't get in. Start scoring some goals at Championship level, then goes to first top flight.
I
and
don't
then
even
now
know
he's-
if Kane was banging that Millwall and Leighton Orient.
No, he wasn't. He was
Or
terrible.
Norwich.
Yeah.
And Norwich, awful.
Yeah.
Come back after that. Tim
Now
Sherwood
look
just
at
give him
him.
There's
exactly.
a tweet from a friend of mine from Kane who'd come back from Norwich. He said, "We're never going to go anywhere. This guy's never going to go anywhere."
Look at that.
I swear that, and he's
It's crazy.
a podcaster.
There you go. Sean Dell says, by the way, Quenda has been called up to Portugal team. That's good. He's
Yeah, I did
fantastic.
think so.
Wano says West Ham is the last London team to win a trophy.
Well,
That's
wait.
facts.
Yep, that
That's
is facts. Box of Oranges says Arsenal is a bigger club than City, but that didn't stop City from taking over England. History won't save you. Money talks. And listen,
Yeah,
as a United fan,
there,
I'll tell
there
you,
is some
history don't
truth
save
to
you.
that. But what I'm saying
We've been
is, with those
surpassed by
three,
everyone.
listen, I'll reiterate. With those 3 options on the table, Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, I think if Arsenal going with the right amount of money,
Yeah.
Isak will come to London.
DH
my firm
says, question, what if Chelsea goes for Isak?
No
Now,
chance.
why would he go to Chelsea?
Yeah,
over
yeah,
Arsenal?
yeah.
That's
we're not going
You're
for
not
it.
in it. Sip or stick says, let's stop talking Isak to Arsenal. Let's talk Saka to Newcastle. His dad's a Tuchel fan, and he might win something. Is his dad a Newcastle fan?
I didn't. I'm not aware of that.
Okay, we're not
I'm
sure about
aware
that.
of
Guys, that wraps up today's show. A very interesting show. A lot of tribalism as usual. Doesn't matter that it's an international break. Remember, there are watch-alongs coming up here on DR with the likes of Laurie.
It's funny how we
Robbie.
started off talking about international, but we always.
That's what I'm saying.
Made-
Go
made
back
for-
It's
to-
always
made for a
there,
better
man.
show.
We are who we are. We cannot
Exactly.
change.
Can I just
You know?
say something real quick?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
My family's watching. I lost my dad on Sunday.
Oh,
So yeah,
sorry
just
to
want
hear
to say
that,
hello to everyone. And, yeah.
Wow.
Listen, thoughts- yeah.
Thoughts with your family, bro. That's
Um,
tough.
commiserations.
sorry.
Sorry.
He was ill. We knew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but some thoughts with the family as well, Nick, and
Yeah,
at least
thank
the
you.
family are watching as well. You've probably given them some good entertainment to lighten up the mood.
That's why I'm
as
so
well,
on edge a little bit. I've been in the hospital for a while. Look at my beard. I haven't had a trim. I haven't had an haircut. Look, that's why I'm wearing a little hat. I've been in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, it's been a pleasure being with you today and sharing the floor with you, man, and taking your mind off things as well.
That's why I'm so angry. I've been looking at the same 4 walls for 3 weeks. I
Yeah.
come out. I'm attacking
Yeah.
Arsenal. I'm attacking cyclists. But
happy to get out, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Nah, sending lots of love, and the chat sending loads of love to you and yours as well, Nick, man. So yeah, we're with you on that one, guys. Smash a like on the video and subscribe to DR Sports if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you on another episode very, very soon.